Hello, everyone. This is Brother Benson, and I'm joined here with my good brother here. Miguda. Miguda, habari gani?
Niko salama kakangu, labda za kwako.
Mimi niko vyema.
Hiyo ni poa kama uko vyema. Hata mi niko hapa na pale kusukuma gurudumu,
Kusukuma gurudumu la maisha.
ingawa ni nzito, lakini tunasukuma tu.
Unajua wanasema lazima kuna wanasema kwamba lazima tusukume, na pia kuna jambo leo nilikuwa nazungumza na rafiki yangu fulani akaniambia kuna vitu ambazo haziko ndani ya uwezo wetu, unapata kwamba huwezi zibadilisha, lakini kuna yale ambazo unaweza badilisha kama binadamu. So zile unaweza badilisha, unaweza izibadilisha, na zile hauwezi badilisha, inafaa uziwache jinsi zilivyo. Siku moja mazingira zitazibadilisha. Labda wewe umesikia maoni kama hayo? Hiyo ndio maoni alikuwa ananiambia.
Maoni kama hayo ni muhimu na pia ni mambo na hekima kwa huyo jamaa alikuwa anakupatia hayo maoni, kwa sababu napata wakati ulikuwa unazaliwa hapa duniani au kuwa unajua umejipata duniani, na sasa vile vile uko hapa, si lazima ujilazimishe ama ukuwe na stress nyingi sana ya kutaka kubadilisha vitu. Kwa mfano, ukiwa na katika hali tuseme tu kutoka hali ya umaskini, usijiue ama usinyonge juu ni maskini. We ngoja tu vitu zifanyike venye ziko hapo mbele, mambo itakuwa tu shwari, kwa maoni yangu. Sasa kuna vitu ambavyo unaacha tu zikae tu venye ziko. Uwezi, kwa mfano, usiibe, usigonge mtu, usijinyonge juu unataka hali ibadilike. Kuna wakati hali mbaya, kuna wakati hali nzuri, hali ya maisha, kuna wakati wa kukosa, wakati wa kupata. Si kila siku ni siku ya kupata na kukosa. Sasa wewe unaomba tu Mungu, unajitahidi. Ndiposa nimekuambia iwapo ni nzito, but mimi naisukuma gurudumu. Hiyo ndio hali ya maisha. Iwapo maisha kuna changamoto hapa na pale, lakini hiyo sio mwisho wa kuishi. Wewe sukuma tu, things will just happen by the time.
Yeah. And thank you so much. And remember, the other day we were having conversation here, and we say that in Kiswahili that riziki kuna kukosa na kupata. You can unaweza pata vile vile unaweza pia kosa. Hiyo ni riziki. So usivunje moyo, Anyway, Miguda, thank you so much. So much is going on. And in the political landscape, there's something that has really happened. Today, President Uhuru Kenyatta and Rigathi Gachagua, for the first time ever since Rigathi Gachagua was impeached, and for the first time ever since President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta left the office, Rigathi Gachagua was there in Kirinyaga to receive Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And, I think it was a very good moment for Rigathi Gachagua. This, maybe if they've been meeting in private, but in public, this is the first time we are seeing this, bearing in mind that when Uhuru Kenyatta was leaving the office, there was a way in which Rigathi Gachagua really attacked Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And that is what is making part of our discussion. Apart from that, also, we are talking about the exchange that has been between Duale and Rigathi Gachagua. And this was concerning the corruption in the Shaa, whereby Rigathi Gachagua has really accused Duale to be part of the Shaa that are taking the money. And the other day he had a press conference and named some few individuals that he says that those are proxy or the people who are working for Duale, and he was talking about 104 billion that was used to for the Shaa, for the system. And, so it is something that has been going back and forth, including Adan Duale also attacked Rigathi Gachagua on the family issues. Remember the will, and the one of his eldest brother, family member who feels that there was a forgery in the will, and they seek the guidance and assistance of the president. But we talked about this one yesterday, and we are still continuing to do the research. You and me know that that will that was written by the senior Gachagua is one of the wills that are being studied, especially in the school of law right now. Say, and like people are saying that was the best will ever done in the country. And the students, yeah, it's the case study. So we might also touch on that too. Quite a number of things also that is happening. So Miguda, maybe on your side before we continue.
Yeah, I agree with you that many things are happening in the country, and there are many developments. The moment we keep on waking up in the morning, we keep on having developments, we keep on having new formations, emerging formations.
Yep.
Today, like we have said, we have seen the presence of the former president. Also, we have seen Orengo amidst united opposition, and Orengo has been a Linda Wananchi ally. Things are happening. We have also seen president in the state house. We have also seen John Badi today appointed as the chair for the National Infrastructure Governing Steering Committee. We have seen many things happening here and there, things realignment, and that's what we call democracy. We should just
And
do it in accordance with the law.
oh, all right, thank you so much. When you go to Kirinyaga, maybe the overview, it seems that there was no representation from the administration, because I saw the leadership of the opposition, the so-called principal, were in attendance, but I did not see anybody from administrative side, or from President William Ruto side, or did I miss something?
You never missed anything.
Yeah.
What you saw is exactly what happened, because to understand that in the burial,
Mhm.
there were people who came from united opposition.
Yeah.
They were all present, in addition to the former president and the Wananchi Linda Orengo, who was also given a chance to speak. And the alignment, where there is convergent between the Linda Wananchi and United Opposition, that all of them are singing one term.
Yeah.
That's where they have the similarities. So
Mm.
likely they can work and form coalitions going forward because they have agreed on one term.
Miguda, Uhuru Kenyatta has always been in the talks, especially when he appear into public, especially his reception, his connectivity, the way he connects with the people, especially in gathering. And today also, when he came out of his motorcade, and you could see, or how people were, very happy to see President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. We've always talked about it, but what can you say about this and the moment Rigathi Gachagua was among the leaders who were receiving him? You talk about the Uhuru Kenyatta and the people, and the moment for Rigathi Gachagua, especially to receive Uhuru Kenyatta in public. What do you think was going through Rigathe's mind, especially in that moment?
It was one of the best moments for Gachagua in the
Mm.
public politics,
Mhm.
because that was the first time the people were actually witnessing the two people who have been enemies in the previous election coming
Mhm.
together. It was more of a union between former enemies now coming to be allies in the future, and they were
Mhm.
speaking the same language. From the reception, I can
Mhm.
say Ouru has been one of a kind of late, and he has been blending good with the public. There's that good rapport between him and the people. The
Mhm.
relationship between a leader and the people is
Mhm.
very much significant
Mhm.
by whenever he appeared in the public. I
Yeah.
think also he has been using his absence to create more honor and respect to the public. At the same time, being the former president who gave direction,
Yeah.
and by him giving direction to the community,
Yeah.
whereby community went contrary to his direction, then later community are going back to their sense that actually he was a leader, he gave direction, and whenever we mess with this direction, we are currently facing these crisis as a community. In my view, I can just say that it was a good moment because Gachagua was overwhelmed. You saw the way he received Uhuru Kenyatta, the way they had the charts, and also Karua also warned Gachagua that Gachagua was the person who made all those messes. In my view, I can say it was a good moment because Uhuru just embraced Gachagua, his former critic, and of the same way Gachagua embraced Uhuru Kenyatta, who never gave him time, even though he was Uhuru's critic, but Uhuru never responded. And also, you would notice that mostly sometimes you can be a critic to somebody, but that person does not bother. So to me, I can just say if you are well conversant with the leadership, or you
Mm-hmm.
understand what you are saying, or you
Mm-hmm.
mean what you say, or the direction you give the people are correct, it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter. Even if the people decided to go contrary, they will come back to their sense and realize that actually you are good, you meant good for them, and it should not bother you. That's my view.
Okay, thank you so much, and you've put it well. Now, when you reflect back, especially during the time when President Uhuru was exiting, and at the Nyayo Stadium, when Rigathi Gachagua was given an opportunity, especially to take the oath and of the office, and he bashed Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and talked political insults to him, and the president from there, the president did not even say a word. The only some incidences whereby Uhuru actually confronted Kioni then when he was still the Secretary General of the party about Rigathi Gachagua, and the rumors that has always been that Rigathi Gachagua have been working ways in which to reconcile. Do you think this was that moment, or from the look of things, there is a possibility that Rigathi Gachagua and Uhuru Kenyatta have been meeting behind the scenes, and these are people who are talking? As you answer that question, let me also take this opportunity to thank Brenda has joined us, Gibson Connor, and Judith too, I think, is here with us. Do you see that this was like the first time that is happening, or they've been talks behind the scenes? This is just now to confirm to us, like, oh, it had happened.
Okay, before I respond to your question, Bro Benson, first
Mm,
also let me join you to welcome Brenda to the show, good friend Judith, and also Goodia. And also, I'd like to brief Goodia that may good God continue blessing you for the blessings you have shown to the channel and support. We pray to you, and may you continue having the good heart. God will always be with you. That's my prayers to you.
mm,
Bro Benson, to respond to your question, first, let me be very fast. When
mm,
you realize that there have been some propaganda, I don't know, there have been some rumors
mm,
hovering in the country that Uhuru met Gachagua at Nigeria, in Nigeria. They were in Nigeria, they met, they reconciled. What I've realized, or what we have discussed with you before we come to the channel, that there might be some behind the scenes meetings going on
yeah.
everywhere. There are
Mm,
many things on that is not in the public. Uhuru might have met Gachagua because the kind of love you saw when he was being received, the kind of laughter they exchanged, and Uhuru was sitting he was sitting between Martha and Gachagua, and Gachagua and Uhuru seems to be speaking the same language, and even Uhuru also emulates the Linda Ground, that Linda Ground DCP, like more of endorsing DCP to be the Mount Kenya vehicle. To me, I think there have been a lot of things discussed behind the scene. A lot of things have been discussed. There have been many meetings to the extent that when Uru was given opportunity to speak, he is more of endorsing Gachagua because he said that Gachagua, you are the person who brought Kikuyus this mess. It's now your duty to ensure that you get them out of this crisis as
mm,
a community. So it was
mm,
like handing over to him that you are the person who brought us here, get us out of here. So he was giving a duty to continue doing the good work is doing it to bring the community together, and
Yeah.
more importantly, also be leaders who shows more of union to the people, not insult. In my view, I can say this is not the first time they are meeting. They are
Mm,
meet in private, and they have
mm,
reconciled as kinsmen. But what we can say that this is the first appearance in the public where we saw them coming together, see the
mm,
pathways. What I want to say, during the
mm,
inauguration of William Ruto, you had
mm,
Gachagua insulting President Uhuru Kenyatta, and Uhuru Kenyatta was sober. Actually, he received those insults by just smiling to what Gachagua was saying. And that's what I was telling Bro Benson, that irrespective of the insults
yeah.
Gachagua did to Uhuru Kenyatta, Uhuru Kenyatta never responded to Gachagua. It is the people like Junet who are attacking Gachagua. So, in my view, what I've learned from Uhuru, because he has been a leader, you got experience being a president for 10 years, it means that there are things he knows that I don't know. There are things
Mhm,
that he's privy to that I'm not privy to. He's exposed to power that me, I'm not exposed to power. What I can learn from him is that as a leader, you should give people direction, irrespective of how that decision can be taken by the people, even if that decision is unpopular.
mhm,
But if it is good for the people, you just give direction. Even if you are going to remain alone, just give direction. A leader should be giving direction to the
yeah.
subjects. That's the great lesson I've learned from Uhuru Kenyatta as a young person, that whenever you have opportunity to power,
Yeah.
do not mislead your people. Give
Mhm.
them direction. So I can say this was just the first public appearance together, but they have been meeting.
Okay, all right, thank you. As we will be talking about Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and even Rigathi Gachagua taking an opportunity to actually to apologize in public, we will discuss about that. But now, when you look at the entire, or when you look at the service itself, it was well organized. We did not see any kind of like political, high octane politics where back and forth, the one term and the two term, like people were very quiet and it was well organized. What does the one tell you about the presence of Uhuru Kenyatta where he goes somewhere, especially when things were calm and everybody was attentive? Like, what does it tell you about Uhuru Kenyatta as a person, especially in the politics of Mount Kenya or in the politics of Kenya, especially?
O- Okay, so that's why the other time when we were discussing with you behind the scenes,
Yeah,
I told you never to underrate Orengo.
yeah.
Orengo, to me, Orengo has been a good leader, and yeah, I've been emulating him for a quite long time. Uhuru
Mm,
Kenyatta, to me, presence is very significant because he portrays leadership.
mm,
The words he's uttering with the public,
mm,
how he blends with the public, the focus that he was a
mm,
leader, he's a leader, and just like I've told you, he's exposed to power. Someone who started testing power as early at the time he was conceived. You know, he was conceived when the father was in power. So he has been in power all of the good part of his life.
yeah.
I can say sometimes if you are exposed to power, there are
Mhm,
things that you cannot be fond of. Like there are some issues. Give the public what belongs to the public. What belongs to the public utilities, let them belong to the public. The public coffers should belong to the public, not private or individual. So
mm,
I can say, in my view, Uhuru Kenyatta, he has tried because right now is the living president former we are having. The
mm,
rest are all dead, and even the most experienced politician of our time, Raila
mm,
Odinga, is no more. So we need someone like Uhuru Kenyatta, a calm person,
mm,
sober,
mhm,
someone who can be visionary and also can guide the younger people. That is
mm,
the role he has to do, irrespective of the community is coming from. He has a duty to ensure that he give direction. He can give direction at the same
mm,
time. He can give direction, and also he can make sure that he give the people, the
yeah.
younger politicians,
Mm,
way forward. Like people like Gachagua should be guided,
yeah.
and Gachagua, the way he guided Gachagua, because Gachagua made a mistake previously, and
Mm,
also he has admitted that he made a mistake and he has learned from it.
Yeah.
All of us are not perfect. At one point in life, we have to make mistakes. So what I can say, the presence of Kenyatta is very significant because it cuts across the country. Remember when he was in Duale,
All right. I'm waiting for me. Good. Let me take this opportunity also to welcome our good friend Paulo. Paulo, I hope you are doing fine. I'm still just waiting for me. Good. And this is what Gibson Connor says. Let me just say, Uhuru is a forgiving and a caring person. I don't think there's anything suspicious about his visits to his former colleagues. There are no enemies in politics. Thank you so much. And maybe Imiguda, if you are on and the Gachagua coming out publicly, especially to apologize to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, do you think that one will solidify or build um, his authority amongst the people of the mountain, accepting that yes, what happened and all this is happening is because of me, and I'm taking that responsibility, and I'm ready to apologize, and hello Miguda,
oh,
hello Miguda,
bro,
can you?
sorry,
Yes.
so sorry for that. If I
All
can
right.
conclude,
Mm-hmm.
I was saying his presence is felt,
Mm,
is very significant, and Uhuru is jovial. But let me tell you one thing also with Uhuru Kenyatta.
mm,
Uhuru Kenyatta is also someone who has come of age, and
yeah.
from his experience, he has learned to
Mm,
let go many things. Because if he could be someone who is not letting go,
yeah.
just like we have discussed with you,
Mm,
today Raila could be the president,
mm,
or Raila could have died as a president. In that case, he
mm,
could have, but he decided to let go many things in his life. So I think that's part of the trait of a leader. Most
mm,
of the things you let go, because if you cling to many things as a leader, many people can die. And there is a verse and a chapter in the Bible. I've forgotten the verse and the chapter, but if
mm,
you Google, can find out,
mm,
whereby I think it's one of the writings of King Solomon. He
mm,
said that a leader should not a leader should not be hungry. When a leader
mm,
is hungry, anyone can die. Somebody can die, because when you provoke a king, actually, it's talking about a king. If a king becomes angry,
mm,
we can have a funeral. Someone can die because he has all instruments of violence. So
mm,
I believe as a king, we should always try not to be angry. You let go many things. The reason why I brought issue of Orengo is because look at
mm,
Orengos right now. Orengo is very calm. He's not bothered. He's not disturbed with the issue of being governor for second term. He's on with his course. Just like I've told you, you don't need to hang to this thing that I must be a governor for 2 term.
yeah.
I must be an MP for 2 term. You just side with the people, even if they're not going to elect you. And that's why I'm telling the people of Shaa. Orengo is not bothered about being re-elected. People are saying, there's some. Let me tell you, there are some
Mm,
people you can sing to them that you are 1 term. They don't care. By the way, W-
mm,
there are some people who don't even care being re-elected. They will stick with the truth, and they will always defend the people. So one of the people are like Uhuru Kenyatta.
mm,
Uhuru Kenyatta, to me, is very organized in his retirement, and is
mm,
very organized as a leader, whereby he lets
mhm,
many things go. At the same time, he's more focused on the young people and also on the future, because if he can cite the young people's aspiration, the young people's visions for the country, it means that he knows very well that in the next few years, it
yeah.
is us, the young people, who are running the show, not the current leaders. So I think we should, as leaders of this country and young turks,
Mm,
if you find a leader like Uhuru Kenyatta, we should
mm,
learn from him. Like me, I've told you the best lesson I've learned from him is that as a leader, you must give direction. So anytime I got into leadership position, I
yeah.
must be someone who's visionary and
Mhm,
gives direction. But most of the time, you must let many things go. If you are insulted as a leader, like the case of William Gachagua, if
mhm,
Gachagua insults you, you focus on the Wananchi, ignore Gachagua, because Gachagua, that is his role. Because
mm,
by the time if you go down to exchange words with him,
mhm.
it's like you want to be opposition leader. You are going to take the role of Gashagwa. So as a leader, always let many things go, ignore many things and move on. Focus to Wananchi.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Mikuda, for that. And maybe I'm seeing our good friend Musimamo also is here. Maybe, but by regarding Gachagua offering his apology publicly before the people and taking that responsibility, do you see it playing a major role, especially when we talk about Mount Kenya politics, and solidifies his base, or giving that authenticity to continue doing what he's doing, or giving the path to be like somebody who is going to be a reference point, especially in Mount Kenya when it comes to discussing about the issues of Mount Kenya?
Robinson, that's a very good question. And when you listen to Paul
Yeah,
Paul Mwangi, when he
mhm,
was discussing Raila,
yeah,
that Raila was a mysterious person. Raila was someone whom you could not predict, someone whom you could not know this next move. In my view, to answer that question, Uhuru is also a good leader. Me, as
mhm,
someone who likes football, Uhuru is a good player and a quality player, or Uhuru is a good coach, whereby he has decided to let Gachagua be free and and have his time, his moment. And
mhm,
also he's trying to take Gachagua some guidance that when you had opportunity to do your politics, you did it wrongly.
mhm,
Now you have opportunity to redeem yourself. Kindly play safe. Because in this world today you are my enemy, tomorrow you are my buddy. But most in politics, you cannot say never. In politics, it's about interest. Sometimes I can play with you, tomorrow
mhm,
I can play with another opponent, and that's how it happened. So in my view, Oru
mhm,
is someone who knows how to. He understands the pattern. He
mhm,
understands the dynamics of politics. He
mhm,
knows at what time you can use your back four, at what time you can use your forward, at what
mhm,
time you can pull the trigger.
mhm,
Just like what Paul Mangi said, Raila knew very well at what time to use the Linda Wananchi and at what time to use the Linda ground. All of
yeah,
them have been subscribed to Raila's school of thoughts. But Raila died, now we have to function. So there was a time he was pulling Linda ground. He could hacks people like Oburu Dinka. And the time he goes to war, he could use the Linda Wananchi, where now Orengo and Babu are swimming and Sifuna. So in my view, whenever that's why I've been insisting in this channel that you cannot be a politician or a leader without a strategy. You must have a strategy. Whenever you're going into a war, you must have a strategy. So what's your strategy? So to in my view, Ouri is very strategic and also is trying to guide people like Ashab that in whatever you do, you must be strategic. Most of politics. Don't play politics without strategy because you can go to negotiation
mhm,
but after negotiation, you find that you are a lone ranger. Like Gachagua, he was the deputy president of William Ruto in UDA without MPs. So when times of impeachment comes, it was very easy to impeach him. So he ought to have played hard that as I'm come to this negotiation with the UDA, I have my Mount Kenya people with my political party. So
yeah,
when the times of impeachment comes, you have the people defend you. So you
mhm,
cannot leave your Paul Mwanga is a very, very, very good term, and I want to quote him.
mhm,
Paul Mwanga said, don't leave your back, don't leave your goalpost, because if you leave your goalpost, the opponent is able to see that it is wide open and he can decide where to score. But if you are in the pitch and you have lined your back, whereby you have your defenders, and also you are trying to negotiate with your opponent, he will look at the goalpost. He will see you have aligned all your defenders, and he will
yeah,
not pull any trigger to you. Like what happened to Raila Odinga. Allow me to quote Mwangi. He said, when he was with Ruto, people like Sifuna were holding in brief. So whenever Ruto is trying to look at the goalpost to score, he could not get because people were there defending Raila. So Gachagua is being taught politics by Uhuru Kenyatta, senior brother Gachagua. If you must play this politics,
yeah,
first get the people. Get
mhm,
Mount Kenya people. If you have the people with you, then after the people, get the representation of the people. So whenever you are in parliament or in opposition, you are strong. The people will be there in parliament advancing your policies. At the same time, the people will be there backing you. So whenever opponent is looking at your goalpost, he'll
mhm,
see you have defended it. But if you are there, you got no people, You got no MPs or representation of the people. Ruto will score. That's why Ruto score against him 1-0. It was first time that was half time or what. He never made it even to one time because goal ilikuwa wazi. Angefunga tu kwa rahisi. So in my view, it's very important to have a strategy. So that was a very good advice from a big bro to younger one, that cool down, be strategic, get the people, get representation, then come to the big boys club and now you can play politics. I think that's my analysis.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Miguda, for that. And also, let me take this opportunity for those who are watching us for the very first time. You can subscribe to the channel so that when we are having a conversation like this on the internet, then YouTube will notify you. I'm seeing my good brother here. Mzalendo vipi? Msimamo vipi? I need to...
Una fine kwa kuita mzalendo anyway, lakini pia anyway hakuna shida, ni mimi niko salama, nimeipokea siku yangu hakika kwa hali ambayo ni nzuri zaidi. Namshukuru Mungu haswa kwa kuwa papa hapa tena. Labda pengine haswa ni msalimia ndugu yangu Miguda na wale ambao wako kwa comment section hapo.
Unajua wakati ambapo tulikuwa tumeanza mazungumzo tulisema mambo haya kwamba kuna vitu ambazo ziko ndani ya uwezo wetu ambao tunaweza badilisha. Vile vile kuna zile ambazo haziko katika uwezo zetu, haziko ndani ya uwezo wetu, hatuwezi zibadilisha. Tukabaliana kwa kauli moja kwamba zile ambazo tunaweza badilisha tufanye jinsi tulivyo, ama jinsi ama kitu ambacho sisi tunaweza fanya katika nguvu zetu, tuzibadilishe zikuwe nzuri, na zile hatuwezi tuachie Mola na Rabana azibadilishie. Kwako wewe unaweza sema vipi?
Yaani hapa kwa kubadilisha ndo sijapapata, tunabadilisha nini haswa?
Kubadilisha kwamba labda tuseme kwamba kwa mfano, naweza toa mfano kwamba kwa mfano nataka kupatia, kwa sababu sisi ni watu ambao wamependa sana sana kuzungumzia juu ya uongozi. Kuna kitu kama kuleta kuleta uongozi bora. Ni vitu ambavyo sisi tunaweza badilisha. Yeah? Na sasa ingia tuseme kwamba wewe labda ulikuwa unaenda safarini, yeah? Kwa hiyo harakati ya wewe kwenda safari ama kwa ile harakati ya kwenda kwa safari, watu wakapata ajali. Mmoja wetu labda akatoka kwamba enda ikawa akawa mlemavu, ama mguu moja hakika, yeah. Sasa unajua tuwezi badilisha hiyo, tuweke mguu sawa sawa na ile Mwenyezi Mungu aliumba, unaona. Sasa ndio nilikuwa nasema vitu ambazo ziko ndani ya uwezo wetu tunaweza badilisha, lakini kuna zile ambazo ziko ndani ya uwezo wetu hatuwezi badilisha. Sasa italingana na wewe unaitafsiri vipi.
Kwanza nichukue fursa hii kwanza kuweza kumshukuru ndugu yangu haswa kwa moyo mkunjufu, ndugu yangu Gudia. Hakika kweli nimeshukuru na nimeshukuru zaidi, na Mungu amzidishie pale. Nimeshukuru pakubwa. Then nikirudi katika yale tunaweza badilisha, la kwanza tubadilishe system na masuala ya uongozi. Yaani uongozi sionekane kwamba hii time limit ya president ya kwamba ni kawaida.
Yeah.
Kwa hivyo kiongozi ni lazima akiingia kwa uongozi ni lazima piga ua. Either amefaulu maana hajafaulu, ama ameongoza kwa hali nzuri ama hajaongoza kwa, lazima apige tambili. Hii kitu inatumaliza. Naona katika mageuzi basi haswa kuwekewe haswa 5 hadi 1 term limit kwa rais. Yaani itokee sasa mwananchi apewe ile nguvu kwamba amedeserve, basi mwananchi anaweza kuwa na uwezo, lakini si kiongozi kuichukulia hii kwamba 2 term ama hata mbili lazima apitie hapo, either amedeserve ama hajadeserve. Kwa hiyo katika haya mageuzi ambayo tunazungumzia hapa, mimi kimsimamo wangu nasema kuwa kuna hiyo gap kwamba mwananchi amesimamia hili kwamba kiongozi haswa ni mwananchi ndiye ambaye atamrejesha, wala si yeye atajirejesha, kwa sababu lazima 2 term, kwamba tunajengwa na historia kwamba fulani alikuwa hapa 2 term, nani alikuwa hapa 2 term, mwingine alikuwa hapa 2 term. Hii kitu inatumaliza, kwa sababu ikiwa kiongozi hajadeserve kututengenezea yale ambayo anatufaa, basi kwetu ni kwamba ni kama ambaye tunaandika sufuri, yani tunafuta sufuri kisha tunaandika 0. Kwa hiyo mimi naona katika haya mageuzi, mimi japo narukia tu, lakini mageuzi ya kweli ni ile kwamba tunaingia kwa yani kwa 1 term limit, yani miaka 5 ile. Hiyo ndio tunamwekea kiongozi sasa, tutampima pale kweli anakidhi ama hakidhi. Basi nafikiri hilo kwangu litakuwa ni jambo la mbolea zaidi, ili tuondokane na ile ukawaida, kwa sababu tumeingiwa sasa hivi katika ukawaida kwamba historia inasema hivi. Sasa hata kama historia inafanya hivi na kuna kiongozi hajadeserve, why should we give him 2 term?
Okay,
so imekuwa it's like a norm. So to me inasema mageuzi hapo hata kama kuna mengine yale, lakini mageuzi ya kwanza mbona hayahitaji so kuyaona, especially kwa United Opposition, basi wa stand katika hiyo 5 term, yani 5 years ama 1 term limit. Kwa hivyo hapo kimaliza mwananchi ndio anapewa hiyo mbavu haswa kikamilifu, haswa katiba. Kwa hivyo iwe ni sheria ndani ya katiba kwamba mwananchi ndio mwenye maamuzi, si kitu tunaiona hapa kwamba inachukuliwa as norm, kwa sababu tunajengwa na historia kwamba huyu hawezi ondoka hapa tu, lazima amalize maendeleo, kwa sababu miaka 5 ya kwanza ilikuwa ni kujipanga, miaka 2 miaka mingine hapo ndio tunaishia mazima kujipata sisi ni kanga wenye chongo wananchi. Kwa hivyo I do believe kwamba kuwe na seriousness kwamba umepewa miaka hii 5, isipofanyia mwananchi basi unajua kivyovyote vile piga huo hawezi rudi hapo, yani itiliwe mpondo zaidi na tuondokane hii kwamba lazima kwamba kuna miaka hii 5 miaka 3 wa kwanza kulikuwa tuko na empty coffers, kwa hivyo tumejipanga, kwa hivyo tutamaliza kazi awamu nyingine. Kwa nini amalize kazi awamu nyingine wakati nafasi hiyo yashapewa ya miaka 5 mtu waweza kudeserve? Kwa hiyo imekaa ni takanom, lakini wenye kulose ni sisi wananchi. So mageuzi ya kwanza mbona hahitaji kuyaona kwamba kuwe na hakika kwamba mwananchi amepewa hiyo nguvu ya kuweza kutakmini rais wake kwa miaka 5, na awe haswa anajua wazi mimi miaka yangu ni hii 5. Ile mingine tu ile kwamba ni kazi yangu itakaonipeleka pale, wala si kwamba sina norm kwamba kwa sababu fulani alikaa hapa miaka 10 na mimi lazima nikae hapa miaka 10. Asante.
Okay, asante sana. Labda tu kwa ufupi, umesema kwamba umezungumzia sana United Opposition. Labda tu kwa ufupi tu, ni kitu gani ambacho unaona kwa kweli United Opposition wanafaa wabadilishe yenye iko ndani ya uwezo wao?
Kila ambacho nataka wabadilisha sasa hivi ni mfumo mzima wa urais, hatamu ya urais, kwa sababu hapo ndo tunapatwa mazima. A president anachukulia kwamba miaka 5 ya kwanza ni ya kuweza kufanya yake, then arudi kwetu kujidanganya tena kwamba miaka 5 haikuwa inatosha, nipeni miaka tena hii 5 nimalizie kazi yangu. Kwani ni kazi gani ambao unaifanya ilo kushinda kwa miaka 5 ambao utaweza kuifanya kwa miaka 10? So it's like hapa tunaibiwa muda wetu, mwisho wa siku tunajipata kwamba yale magugu ndo tunayapokea na mbegu tunaziacha. Kwa hivyo mimi kila ambacho na hakika nacho kwamba United Opposition kwanza watupe kiongozi mmoja, kisha wahakikishe kwamba hili la limit basi limepunguzwa hadi miaka 5. Ndivyo kama atakuwa kazi yake imefanyika vizuri, ameonekana na deserve, apewe hii mbavu. Nafikiri wasimame katika hilo, maana hilo ndio litakalotusaidia si wananchi. Hii masuala ambayo ni lazima kuwa na 2 term limit, tumeiona kwamba inachezewa mchezo sasa hivi, kwa sababu tukiangalia those who are believing on 2 term pahala wanatudanganya napo na kutupumbaza napo ni kwamba hati kazi kwa miaka 3 inakuwa ngumu mno kwa kiongozi kuweza kutimiza. Uongo, kwa sababu ikiwa kama ni makusanyo ya nchi, wao ni wanajua vizuri. Taifa letu la Kenya si uhaba wa hela tuko nao, ni matumizi mabaya ya hela ile, utunzi na kuweza kuihifadhi ile hela kwa ajili ya taifa ndo hakuna. So katika haya yasitupumbaze ili tusimtoe mtu kwa sababu ati tumebewa hiki kigezo cha kwamba ni lazima miaka 10 ndio amalize kazi yake. No, hii ni kwa ajili ya wanasiasa ndo ambao wameimplement hili machoni kwetu, lakini nafasi yetu kama wananchi tunajua kwamba miaka 5 kwa uhakika inatakimini kiongozi amefanya kazi nzuri, sawa tutamregesha, hajafanya kazi aende nyumbani. So wastiki katika hili, na tunaamini kwamba viongozi hawa kama ni Matiang'i, kama ni Matakarua, kama ni Kalonzo, kama ni nani, kama ni yoyote yule ambaye atakasimama, tunamwekea 5 years ili tumhakikishe kwamba na kama hajadeserve, hajafanya yale ambayo ni ya Mkenya, basi katiba turuhusu wananchi kwamba tuweze kumtoa haswa pasipokuwa na vigezo vingine ambavyo tunavishuhudia ambavyo vinatuzuia kwa muda huu. Asante.
Okay, asante sana Miguda, also asante sana kwa kukuja Miguda. I will engage
Dogo, lakini kama dakika ngapi nitakuwa nimefika nyumbani ndio tutashuhudiana vizuri. Kwa hivyo nitatoka kidogo, lakini kama dakika 5 nitakuwa nimefika nyumbani ili tuingie kwa kipindi rasmi. Asante.
Okay, asante sana kakaangu, bado tuko hapa, tuko na mazungumzo. Najua kwa bahati nzuri utakuja kutupata sisi hapa na tutaendelea na mazungumzo na utazidi kutupatia hoja zako ambazo zitatusaidia sana sana kutathmini na pia kutupatia mwelekeo kulingana na uongozi wa nchi. Miguda, let me engage you especially. I know we've talked so much about Uhuru Kenyatta, Rigathi Gachagua, and there's so many talks on especially right now in politics. We saw Orengo coming into the meeting, and President Uhuru Kenyatta was confirming that he was not aware that Orengo was coming, and even Rigathi Gachagua, because even Kalonzo and he knew Wamunyoro was in the tour, but seemingly these leaders might have attended this function by surprise. The president was not aware. But let's go to Orengo, especially on what Orengo say, that he reminded, or he said that this is what he said: Uhuru, those people bothering us, ODM were your people. Those days they were saying that Uhuru has given us money, and they were Uhuru's people the most. Yeah. So Orengo was just trying to tell Uhuru Kenyatta about those who used to support him. That is including, I hope, the Junet Mohammed and the group that used to support Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And now they are the people who are saying that Uhuru Kenyatta has given them money to go around doing the Linda Mwananchi campaign. And also Orengo also talked about how the people of Mount Kenya were warned by Uhuru Kenyatta about the presidency and the reason why we are here. If you analyze the presence of Orengo and the speeches that Orengo made at that particular event, what was his achievement? What did he want to achieve, especially when you look at it politically?
Yeah, that was politics.
Yeah.
That was politics. The way you have said politically. What I can say first, these are colleagues. They have worked before. Orengo and Martha Karua, these are senior councils. They have their numbers. Maybe they have been communicated before, or they were in contact. Then he said, "I'll pass by," or maybe I can say they are maybe in certain WhatsApp groups. So I think out of friendship, out of colleagues, you can pass by to assist your colleague to bury. At the same time, coincidentally, Uru can be there and so on and so forth. But right now, they have been having similarities that Orengo and the United Opposition have been singing one time. So out of that coincidence, and also just what you can say, a pass by, you can meet, and when you given a microphone, you must advance your political tune. So Orengo had opportunity to hit his opponents. Remember, the same people have been hitting him. They were in Siaya, they were hitting him. So if he has that platform, just respond to them that here is Uhuru, and you get Uhuru's money. So I think that was just, it's politics, whereby if you got opportunity, hit your opponent hard. That's because if he got opportunity, not spare you. It was purely politics. So he was playing, and also he was singing to the tune of colleagues like Mata Karowa, because they have been advancing the issue of rule of law. You understand what Mata Karowa said.
Yeah.
That's good, my view.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. And another thing also, as you know very well, there's also been this perceived hostility between the two communities. Orengo also was also pleading, or Orengo was just saying that there's nothing wrong because, like, um, you know, the problem would not be with Uhuru Kenyatta, I mean, and it could be with them. And let me bring you back, especially on what Uhuru Kenyatta said, because like for the past few weeks, we've seen insults, especially among the politicians. That is the president himself. At some point, president called the united opposition that they are foolish. I quote the president, and also the body shaming that has been taking place, especially in the leadership. The leaders especially the united opposition, Rigathi Gachagua and President William Ruto. And this is what the president said. I quote him: "Kenyans want leaders. They don't want politics and insults. A country needs leaders with integrity, principle, not those serve themselves." And politically, when you're looking at this politically, it must be directed somewhere. Any statement cannot be made in politics without having a target. You cannot. What do you think of that?
That was very good advice, but I'm looking at it from a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
When Ruto institutes that the opposition do not have agenda, and the opposition also trade that the agenda is William Ruto.
Yeah.
Then Ruto also said, okay, if I'm your agenda, then you also will be my agenda. I'm looking at it in this way.
Yeah.
What if the person who proposed that united opposition has got no agenda? He's a person who has got no agenda. So he wants you to engage him at personality so that you can have a field day. Maybe Ruto never had agenda. So he wants you to engage him in personality so that he can have a field day, because he has done that one for the last 10 years against Raila and he has perfected it so well.
Mm.
That one could be a play whereby I know very well that I got no good intention to deliver for you services because I'm in the business whereby me, I'm doing my business with the government. And also you have put pressure on me to work for you people. I can just create a narrative that, okay, you guys don't have agenda, so that you can, so I'll say, okay, I'll take excuse.
Yeah.
It's you people who started insulting me. Now let me introduce. So in the real sense, I got no agenda, or maybe I've promised you heaven, but I've never delivered anything. Now I want a scapegoat, and my scapegoat could be, let me engage these people personality.
Yeah.
In my view, I don't. That's why I was advising the young people. We don't need to play those politics of insults, personality. Let's engage Kenyans on the issue-based politics. Even like I've told you, even if you're unpopular because of your issue-based politics, just be unpopular. Don't play insults so that you can become popular. That demonstrates that you aren't a leader. A leader, sometimes it forces you to take some hard decision for the sake of saving the people
Yeah.
and for the sake of saving the country. Even that decision can be unpopular, but you must take it. That's the traits that will make people view you as a leader. So I think, in my view, Uhuru Kenyatta has seen it all, they have told you. And whenever I say that, let us engage on the issues affecting the people and be leaders who can guide the people, not insulting each other. That was something that can be taken. And let me tell you, you some people can underrate, like we have said, you can underrate those sentiments. But at the end of the day, that's where we usually end. Even after our elections, we bury our differences, then we forge on how we can work together in this country. We cannot remain competitive during election and after election. After election, we need to resolve and move forward as a country.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. And to remind you, something that also happened. I think today, when even you look at the body language and of Rigathi Gachagua and President William, when they're sharing light moments, I think today Rigathi Gachagua is going to have a very good sleep. That is what
Leo atalala na kiatu.
Atalala na kiatu. And Miguda, let's switch a bit. President William Ruto today was hosting women in State House, and he also during that he also mentioned about him having PhD, and this was an empowerment program, and we've seen especially President William Ruto have hosted quite a number of groups in State House, and all of them are geared towards the employment. Maybe, do you feel this approach of employment whereby you select a few women or a few group of people to come and say that this is what we are going to do, represent the larger view of the country? And if you're very, 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 very keen, if you look at the majority of leadership of women who were there, the people in the working class. We are not seeing a lady from Turkana who find it very hard to get even some water to come and say that, President, this is what we want you to do for us. Do you think this is the way to go, especially to solve the issues and to create pathways, especially for empowerment for the women universally, especially you're looking at it, Kenya as a whole?
When you bring the issue of universally, it's quite more of a challenge.
Yeah.
Because you don't know the composition of women who went to State House, or you don't know the criteria of picking them. Yeah. So they can just be representatives whereby they are a face of women, but in the real sense, they are not diverse. They have not picked women across the country nationally, maybe from Turkana, Wajir, or from Elgeyo Marakwet. They have decided to take women from maybe, let's say, Kibra to be maybe a certain slum. So you understand, bro, we are in politics, and politics, you have to play all cards to make you visible. There are sometimes you can play propaganda. There's sometimes you can play AI. Right now we have AI. There's sometimes you can just drive perception of the people. You know, there are some electorates who just vote for you because of perception, that they can say, okay, Bro Benson is a good guy. Okay, he is a good guy. Let me cast my vote for Bro Benson. But he has got no any personal interaction with you. He has got no any personal interaction with how you deliver services or projects. Maybe in your projects services, you are the person who owns the company, so you are getting the kickbacks. But they can do that. Okay, Bro Benson came here, gave us 3Ks each. Let us vote for him. There are some electorates who think along perception. So what Ruto was doing today, he was creating perception to those electorates that is going to empower women. I think that's how it was. That's why I was telling you. It's all about strategy. No strategy, no winning.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Let me also take this opportunity to thank Mary Kinyeru for joining us. If you're new in Brother Benson Media, kindly we are requesting you to be part of the family by subscribing, so that when we are having discussion like this, YouTube will notify you and be part of the conversation. But do you see you feel that approach is okay? Because, like, he is in politics. There are those who say that, okay, the approach that the president is using might not be beneficial, especially to the majority, bearing in mind, even during the campaign, president had women charter, and the women charter, some of the issues that are being discussed at this particular moment were included in those women charter. So what has really changed? Those are some of the questions, that have come up.
Questions can be asked. Questions can be asked, and also people can ask whether it's going to be beneficial to women. But we have different people here. We have the electorates who are focused on how they can benefit from the president. But we also have the president. The president's main agenda is to go to re-election, no matter how. If he can rig, even if he can rig, he can do it. To him, retaining that face of empowerment towards women is very much important, whether it is valid or invalid, whether it's going to fulfill or not. His basic duty is to ensure that he creates perception that he's the president who has fulfilled the women empowerment, and is the president who has retained the issue of women empowerment. So we must understand that there are two people here. There are elites here who want to follow to the latter, but there are also the grounds people who are just interested on what they're being done to. So I think that's the point.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Miguda, for that, and we will keep on following what is happening on the ground. Let me just bring you to some of the speeches, especially that President Uhuru made, and some of the quotes that we also got from Rigathi Gachagua. This is what Rigathi Gachagua: "No one will ever come between me and Uhuru. Uhuru is my elder brother, my own blood, my kinsman. Ruto came and tried to drive a wedge between me and my brother, but that will never stand. The only thing I regret is this. Uhuru warned me that Ruto was a bad person, but I did not listen. That's, I quote Rigathi Gachagua today when he was given an opportunity. Another thing that President Uhuru said on his speeches is that I don't want to speak much. I didn't even know whether Orengo or where Orengo came from. I was also surprised about Kalonzo, and I thought Wamunyoro was doing his particular tour. That is what Uhuru Kenyatta said. Orengo, you must understand that Ruto is a very strategic politician. He got into the Jubilee Party and now he has moved into ODM. We must make his life very difficult. Don't let him sleep. He did not get into the UDA party, but they formed the UDA party with President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. I stand being corrected because I think they had TNA and URP. They came together to form a Jubilee party. So their parties were, they make sure that they exit your party. They terminated their parties, I would say that, and they formed Jubilee. He did not come into the Jubilee. I think they formed it together with maybe equal shares. President Uhuru Kenyatta being the president, Ruto being the deputy. In the event, Uhuru was supposed to do 10 and Ruto to do 10, kumi yangu, kumi yako. So that is politics, we all know. I went back to Shaweri and I'm listening to the ground. What I'm hearing is that they want people to be united. That is what Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta said. What do you say about that? He went back to Shaweri.
Bro Benson, I just want to be brief on that issue. You know, people like Orengo, sometimes they have experience because Orengo has been in politics for a quite long time. And he has seen it all. Orengo is also someone who's very intelligent. When Orengo gave you advice that Ruto is very strategic, he knows what he's saying. And that's what I was telling you. You can be popular. You can have the people. You can have representation. But if you're not strategic, you're not winning this seat. So as long as we are doing our homework, as long as we are doing due diligence to make him one term, we also need to be very strategic. And being strategic is value additional as a politician. That's why Orengo was admitting that he is very strategic. And he wanted to divide Mount Kenya. He's now going to divide ODM. That's what tells that he's very cunning and he's very strategic. And right now, he's even planting UDAs in the ODM stronghold. So I just want the whole statement you have asked me in a nutshell. Any politician must be strategy. No strategy, no political win for you.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Miguda, for that. And we cannot go without talking about. Let me see what is here. James Orengo James Orengo really has had enough of Ruto and has nothing to lose. Yep, and Miguda, you mentioned something that I don't know whether how sometimes we look at it, because the other day we were talking here, and we were talking about there, especially with or without Orengo being elected in Siaya, there are few things that will not change immediately. Even if you impeach Orengo today, yeah, there's nothing that is going to change, especially because like it is how the system, even themselves who are maybe pushing that Orengo should be one term or Orengo should be impeached. Those rumors that are on the street. Why do you want to impeach him? Because look at it. Look at it from national government. There's some resources that should come from national government to the counties. Are those resources coming? Yeah. What are the members, the MCAs are doing, especially when it comes to passing of the legislation? You will find that even those MCAs, when it comes to giving tenders, they're the people who are in control. They are passing legislations that do not even serve the interests of Wananchi. Yeah. So if they want to, if not even Orengo or Siaya, in all these counties, especially if they want to make sure that they have what it takes, it is not about voting somebody out. It is about fighting for those systems that can work without nobody. Yeah, we have to agree Orengo has a challenge as in his leadership, but I don't think the challenge in his leadership has contributed more to the system they have. Look at what happened during the Homa Bay when we have Cyprian Aweti. Come, we had Rasanga. We had Obado we have Obado when Obado was in Migori County. Then we had Jack Ranguma when he was in Kisumu. We had Rasanga when he was in Homa Bay. If you can point out, especially on some other areas, their changes have never taken. You cannot see no change, especially now, significant change. You're not going to see significant change in the healthcare when it's come to infrastructure. You cannot see so much insignificant change. Hey, Joseph, habari gani?
Jambo, Brother Benson. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. Where have you been, my brother?
I have been around these corners of politics corners. Maybe sometimes I don't see you. Sometimes maybe when you come, I'm quite busy a bit. But I've been here. I see the studio is enlarging. I can see a camera there behind. I see it's good things. Good things are coming this year.
Yeah,
And I want to also to
sasa hii hata nikiamua kumulika huku nyuma uone kwa nyuma itakuwa ni vizuri.
I think we also want to become the Vampire Diaries like the ones for it's called who this guy Morara. I think Morara. You want to start that one. Let me greet Miguda. It's been long time. I see now he has become a Luo elder, even with the hat he's wearing. And so, I have missed my brother so much in these corridors.
Okay, thank you so much, Joseph. Joseph, today was a very interesting day, especially when we look at the politics of Mount Kenya. It depends on how you are looking at it, but there were, to us, we would say that it was quite, it might be political historical, because today we saw, especially Rigathi Gachagua, led by Martha Karua and Kalonzo, lining up to receive the former president, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And in the entire session, you would see the body language and even how they were talking, laughing. And from that alone, body language, it tells you that Rigathi Gachagua tonight, he's going to sleep well. He came out publicly and apologized and took the responsibility that he was warned, but he did not listen. President also came out. If you listen to his speech, I know I will ask you something about his speech too. There's so many tones that we pick from that speech that politically they are very, very significant. So in a nutshell, from where you sit, what would you say about what happened in Kirinyaga, the presence of Rigathi Gachagua and Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta?
First, I want to say I watched the burial of the late senator of Kirinyaga, because it was the first time, I think, senator in Kirinyaga.
Yeah.
And I took quite some notes in that whole event. And to start it off is Uhuru has never been a vengeful person since he ever took politics. Mm-hmm. And we have seen it all through, even when he was defeated in 2002. He just accepted defeat. I think he's the only person who has accepted this defeat in the history of Kenya in terms of elections.
Yeah.
And he took it quite well. And after he became the opposition leader, and he also joined with teams of people like Raila Odinga when they were in the 2005 referendum, you remember?
Yeah.
And they were able to, there was a constitution reform which was coming under Kibaki, and at that time it was not seen a very good idea. Mm-hmm. So I don't think he has been a vengeful man, because also he tried to unite the Kalenjin and the Kikuyu and in times of war times that we had in 2007.
Yeah.
And you have seen him quite again coming back to also forget the things that he was done, because he was done quite horrified things, if we remember. And not only Uhuru Kenyatta, we remember even Raila Odinga was done very horrific things with his gas company Spectra, and also his Northland farm in his Northern farm, and how even they removed the presence of security from his mother and in Ishaweri. And you know who was behind this, you quite know. At that time, Rigathi Gachagua were not seen eye to eye with Uhuru Kenyatta. But I think he's one man we can take from and see that reconciliation is always a very good idea. He quite talked about how him and Raila Odinga wanted to unite the country.
Yes.
And I think from 2013 all through, I think Kenya, and let's say, there was fracas in 2027. 2017. In 2017, I think they tried with his brother Raila Odinga to quell the country. And you saw, even as we were going for the election of 2022, we were not thinking so much about will it be having temperatures, will they be high to a point where people are going to fight. So for him and Raila, I know they tried so much, because I was also in their brigade. Mimi si wale watu kusema ati ulituambia, mimi nilikuwa hapo, sasa mimi naambiaga tuliwaambia. So he tried to tell them, and I think he spoke quite in Kikuyu. I don't know if you want me to summarize what he was saying.
Okay. Before you go there, and that's what I wanted to ask you, because if you are very keen, especially in Uhuru presidency, during his presidency, and if he has something that is bothering, or he wants to deliver a message, especially when he is in the mountain, he tends to resort to his dialect, or he tends to resort to his language, especially the Kikuyu dialect. And this is not the first time he was doing this, but he has done it severally. What from where you sit, why do you think that even today, especially in his speech, it was the dialect and the Kizungu, the mix? What was he wants to? What did he want to achieve at that particular moment during this speech? It's important.
I think when he changed to the Kikuyu dialect, he wanted to convey a message, because the people who he was speaking to, they were people coming from a place that they talk the same language. And Kirinyaga, if you have seen Kirinyaga has been very pivotal in terms of his presidency, because you were told that Kirinyaga, many people have come from the sector of trying to help the governments. You heard Rigathi Gachagua saying that Kibaki had some people, Moi had some people, and also Uhuru. I remember, you can see Kibicho. You saw Kibicho was quite in a man in Uhuru's government. So I think Kirinyaga has been very quite vital in terms of leadership of all this. So I think when he started speaking, he was talking first in English, and then he turned. Also there was people who don't understand Kikuyu, like the likes of Akina Matiang'i. Kalonzo can be hearing, but Matiang'i, I think, and some other politicians like Wamalwa could not. Wamalwa sometimes Kikuyu and the Luya, sometimes some words you hear them, they pass, you feel like they are conveying there's like one, because they are Bantus. So when he changed to the Kikuyu dialect, he was sending a message to the people in the mountain. And the same was being echoed on what Rigathi Gachagua was saying, that we need to unite and stand as one as we are going to head to this election. And he quite spoke about, even he spoke, I don't know if you heard, he spoke about how the Kikuyu region, or the Mount Kenya region, how the church played a role in Ruto becoming the president. And he was warning them, because he warned them. He had warned, Uhuru, when he was leaving the office, he had a very big quarrel with the churches. You remember? He's like, he was not in, Uhuru is a Catholic, but I think he was sending a message to these Pentecostal churches, because they really spread the word of William Ruto in their churches. Some even were putting his portraits in the pulpit. So he told the bishop who was there, the Catholic bishop, he told him that we remember that the church played a very pivotal role in this in the formation of this government, and he was telling them that they need to be very careful next time when they are doing things. He told them that your work needs to be only sharing the good news of Jesus Christ and church values, not involving yourselves with the politics. Leave the politics to the people who are supposed to do the politics. Then he talked about leadership, and he said that people are going to come with good talking. I think he was talking about William Ruto. He said that people are going to come with sweet talking and sweet words, but most of them are not leaders. They are politicians. They are the word muteti. Muteti means a politician in Kikuyu. And then he said that you need to be very careful as Mount Kenya people when you are electing the next leaders, and the next leaders that are going to come, you need to do not between the politicians and the leaders. And also, he mentioned that when people started, there's a time he was speaking and somebody said he said that I'm not going to talk so much politics, but somebody in the crowd told him, no, we need you to tell us. So he said, I'm going to speak a little, and I remember I told you. But now there is nothing that else I can do. My work, the only work that has remained, I will only stay in Ishaweri, where is in Katondo. And me, any leader that is going to come, I'm not going to do anything because my work is in Ishaweri. Then he talked about Orengo.
Yeah.
And he said that even Orengo, he himself, they did not know they were coming. So you can be, you don't know how things happen. You can find that maybe Gachagua tried to ambush Uhuru when he knew he was going there, but quite it's seen that they were talking. It means they are talking behind the curtains. You can quite see they are talking behind the curtains. But all in all, Gachagua now has known that you don't need to go in politics with hate. You need to go with politics with an open mind and a broad mind, because politics is a game of interest.
Yeah.
This time you have interest with somebody. Now he has interest with Uhuru because his boss took him out of the office, and he's a person who he campaigned so much. You know what was happening with Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi Gachagua is a politician who never knew that after even you do all these things, even you win the election, you're not supposed to be. You are supposed to be uniting the country. You know what he did? He went in the inauguration, and he's the only person who really tried to embarrass Uhuru Kenyatta. I think Uhuru Kenyatta he embarrassed him quite, and I think Uhuru took that to heart. I think even Uhuru, the things that he took to heart, not about him and the name callings in the campaign. The things that Uhuru had that hurt Uhuru was, one, the embarrassment before the head of states who are present there. Yes. The second one was his mother was taken security. The third one was his kids. You remember his kids, the firearm and everything when he went at night. And the fourth one was about the invasion of his Northland farm.
Yeah.
So I think those were the issues that. But I think Uhuru is one politician who never takes everything at heart, and he always tends sometimes to forgive. But Rigathi Gachagua also knows his place. You heard him saying that in the next government I'll be a part of, even though I'll not be president or not. So he knows where his value is, and he knows where he has been kept. But all in all, Uhuru also has learned something from the Kikuyu people, even if he was trying to warn them. He has learned that the Kikuyu people, they need to listen to the ground. I think that is one of the things that he said there. He said that saizi mimi nasikiliza ground, because 2022 he was lied to by some people, some quarters lied to Uhuru Kenyatta, and it was quite so all was to tell the people of Mount Kenya that they need to remain as united. And he also talked about the country and said that the country need to remain united. Right now, I don't think Uhuru Kenyatta can get into the nitty-gritties of Shaa and everything. You will not see him talking about those things. Because one thing I know with him, he tried to shed off the tag of kingpinship and tried to be a statesman. So I think the statesmanship in him cannot really make him go into tribal politics of Shaa is not working and those other things. But he talked a very good thing and said that the Gen Z need to be given the opportunity to be able to air their views. And they need to continue the struggle they are doing if they are seeing the country is not headed in the right direction.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Joseph. And this is, I want you to be brief on it. And if you're watching us for the very first time, this is Brother Benson. You can support us by subscribing to the channel. So when we are having conversation like this with our panelists, you can also join us in the comment section. Before I invite Miguda Joseph, I want just to know from you in brief, by Uhuru Kenyatta even soliciting the advice, whereby some of is seeing like is targeting either the president and Rigathi Gachagua, but is in between giving an advice. Do you think this one can be a Gachagua moment whereby he said that, okay, as he has realized that, okay, I did a mistake, so let me learn from my mistake and, listen to what my elder brother is telling me, because he was also his assistant, he know more about Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Do you think that one can kind of like bring some building in Rigathi Gachagua politics going forward in Mount Kenya?
Yes, quite. Rigathi Gachagua has a following. Even if you remove Uhuru Kenyatta in the picture, he has quite a following. But you know what Rigathi Gachagua needs? He needs the seal. He needs the seal to be stamped that he's the leader in Mount Kenya. And who is supposed to give him that seal? There's only one person who can give him the, what do we call, the credibility. There's a time you need credibility for something. So he needs to be he needs to be given the credibility from somebody who was, when Uhuru became the leader of the mountain, he was given the seal by who? He was given the seal by Michuki. You remember there was a meeting they went and Michuki really stamped the authority that Uhuru Kenyatta is the person that you're going to talk to in terms of Mount Kenya leadership. So right now, because he still has the power, the Muthegi you always hear, the Muthegi is the baton, I mean. So I think Rigathi Gachagua is trying so hard to be given the credibility by Uhuru Kenyatta, because there is still people who follow Uhuru Kenyatta in the mountain. I am one of them. But let me tell you what Uhuru Kenyatta is trying to do. Uhuru Kenyatta is trying to unite the mountain. And I think in recent days, you see him also talking to Kindiki. Kindiki's stance have changed. I don't know if you have seen that Kindiki stance of the hardline have already changed. Even the way he's talking, you could see somebody who maybe, and in the recent days coming, you'll see a new different Kindiki. I think also he has known without the unity of purpose within the Mount Kenya, it is not going well for him. And he needs to double down. The repeat is always very painful. The repeat of what happened to Uhuru Kenyatta, Kithure Kindiki is afraid of that. Because imagine if we go to an election and the Mount Kenya, they support the side of Rigathi Gachagua, Kindiki will be thrown off oblivion in Mount Kenya politics. So I think he need to double down. And I think Uhuru, what he's trying to do is to unite these people. And if you had even, Uhuru, I think the person that Uhuru really likes in Mount Kenya so much is Martha Karua. Uhuru even has clarified it that he, even Martha Karua was talking and saying and telling Uhuru that the only place that you'd see me, I talk the truth and I stand for. That's why you don't see me supporting Ruto. That was she was saying. So I think for Uhuru, Rigathi Gachagua needs credibility with him. And if he's given that credibility you see even the body language and the pictures, also cameramen, they like to be mischievous. They were even taking pictures when they were laughing. Let me tell you, politics is all about, what do we call it? The imaging. I'm forgetting the word. There's the imaging. There's a word they use. The imaging in politics is very important. That's why you hear even somebody who is chased, or you see a person not walking in the red carpet. The imaging starts to be something.
Okay. maybe sorry for cutting you off, because like when you are a camera person, is you and camera person, you are in any gathering, you seem to be the third eye of the people, making sure that the scenes that people who are not there are supposed to see, you pick both the positive and the negative. Unaweza shika mahali kiongozi ameanguka chini, hapo ndo unachukua kamera ya, ingawaje watu kasema usichukue, lakini as a camera person, that is what defines your job as a photographer. Those very good moments, that one also define that, those good captions, you know.
But you know, also he talked on Gachagua. He also gave Gachagua some also beating kidogo. He told him that insults are not going to help anyone.
Okay, yes,
people should stop insults. And that's why I tell you, Uhuru, even you know, Uhuru has been used to these photo ops that people do. He's used to them. He knows even, you see, even the time that Ruto went to visit him in Ishaweri, he knew the photo ops are going to be something else. And I'm telling you, photo ops is very dangerous. You see, after Ruto went to visit Uhuru, he came and said that he has appointed. You saw he appointed the friends who are near Uhuru, the likes of Kakina Kabogoli, Njiru. He appointed them, Derito Mureithi. You saw he appointed them. And people started saying that it is Uhuru who has sent them. So photo ops is very, very dangerous. But I think Uhuru needs to keep the way he has been, just silent, because it's evident that even him he said, unajua leo alisema Brother Benson, I know mimi vile nimeongea leo wataniongea wiki na wiki kwa magazeti, and I know it is coming.
It's coming. Okay, thank you. And I wish Miguda was here and he dropped. If he comes back, we will give him a chance also to contribute. The reason why I was asking you about even Rigathi Gachagua getting mileage, we know for a fact that when it comes to politics, the slogans and what these politicians usually reflect them. For instance, politicians are many, but leaders are few. I'd warned you, but this is now up to you. I went to Ishaweri to listen to the ground. Na vile nasikia mkisema kwa ground, stick with that. And you know, kwa ground, nimesikia kwa ground. But now, when you come to politics, the only person that is associated with Rigathi Gachagua, with listen to the ground, is Rigathi Gachagua, and that's why I was asking you, like, if the president, maybe he might be saying it as the head of state without connecting it to Rigathi Gachagua, but the people who are now going to pick it and the people who listen to it and say that if President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, former president, who I really love and who I really respect, would say to listen to the ground, you know, it seems that what Rigathi is doing, that is what Uhuru Kenyatta is doing, and it will pop up in the internet. So that is the line of my thought that I was asking you that. Will this one beat Rigathi Gachagua, and especially Mount Kenya?
And you are right. You are right. You know, Uhuru saw that I cannot fight with people, because even if I tell you what, you not listen. He saw it in 2022. And let me tell you, Rigathi Gachagua has been trying to get this moment for quite a while. Yeah. And you know it in certain scenarios. You remember the one in Embu where Uhuru was so much cheered when there was a coronation of a bishop, and Rigathi Gachagua was sitting in the congregation and he wanted to reach for Uhuru, but Uhuru said, I'm leaving before. You remember Uhuru said, me itapatiana yangu na nitoke. And there was also another funeral. There was another funeral that Uhuru Kenyatta knew Rigathi Gachagua was coming. He spoke very fast. That time Rigathi was a deputy president. He spoke very fast and said he's leaving. So Rigathi Gachagua found Uhuru has already left and said, I wanted to talk to him. So I think this moment was a very crucial moment, even for the people who always support Rigathi Gachagua and the other people who support Uhuru Kenyatta. It was a moment where they could use all the photo ops they could have been able, so that they can be able to sell this. The ground, you know, the ground can mean so many things. It's okay the way you're saying it is, Linda, the way you say ground. You know, even we have Linda ground.
Yeah, Linda ground. Linda ground.
So grounds are so many.
Rigathi Gachagua was like the signature Sikiliza ground, you know, and And you know, that is when you do this, you know, this is Rigathi Gachagua. That is the political signature, especially for his party DCP. So, you know.
So I think this one is it's headed for them to reconcile. That one is for sure, and I think some of the politicians are going to find it very rough in Mount Kenya. The politicians who are in the presidential campaign.
Let me bring you to speed. I think it's not yet a month. We saw Kioni visiting Wamunyoro, and he went with the goats, and it was like a reconciliation. And you know, when me particularly, I saw that and I said, this is Kioni, and we know Kioni with the Uhuru Kenyatta, they're in the same camp, and this is right. There's something going on, but I say, okay, I do not want to read much in it. And there's this speculation that has always been that Rigathi Gachagua and Uhuru Kenyatta are not in good terms, you know. But today, the way it came out, you know, very natural between them. What Uhuru, maybe depending on how Uhuru looks at things.
You know, Brother Benson.
Go ahead.
What I've quite known is when you want to become a leader, first in Kikuyu land, you need yourself to be able to unite the people first.
Yeah.
And you need to be able to rally the people so that you can be able to talk in one voice. And the problem that happened with Rigathi Gachagua was one. He went at it with like war. He went to this one like war. He's like he was fighting Uhuru Kenyatta like it's a military combatant war. And he forgot that you cannot just fight a war and forget that you might need him in later future. So I think the things that have happened, they have taught him a lot of. I think Rigathi Gachagua has learned a lot in the past 3 years he has been in power. He has been in politics. Because you know, Rigathi Gachagua was a one-time MP, and he got from the one-time MPship and became the deputy president straight. So I think also he needed to have that political exposure of leadership there on top. And I think also now he has seen that I need to be able to check the waters very, very. You cannot go to just the waters and step on the waters just like that. You need to know even where the waters are deep. And Uhuru Kenyatta is one man who can be able to shape politics of Mount Kenya, because you know, Brother Benson, he never left. You know, people were always complaining to him why he never left a person. He never left a person who is going to be able to lead the Mount Kenya. And I think this is the time I think Uhuru Kenyatta needs to give the baton or the mudheki to the next person who is going to lead the community. And I think that is what he's doing. And he's not going only to give it to Rigathi Gachagua without uniting the people. I think you will see a very big unity coming in the next few days. I think even I'm telling you, you will see Kindiki. I think Kindiki is about to be edged out, and you are going to tell me in the near future, because you know ODM is asking for 50%, and they're asking for the deputyship. So regarding so Kindiki is feeling a bit really worried. But I assure you that Uhuru Kenyatta is now retiring in politics. Uhuru is retiring in politics now. What he's doing is retiring now, and I can tell you, before he had not retired, now he's going to retire into politics. And I think also he needs to do some revenge on Ruto. That is what he needs to do, because whatever they did, Uhuru wanga anasamehe, lakini ya Ruto sijui nini walifanyana bwana. That one is very deep. That one we will never understand. That one, even if you live in a century years, we never understand about that. But I think Uhuru was too much hurt by Ruto, and Ruto was too much hurt by Uhuru, that those guys can never reconcile. Even if you call witch preachers to reconcile them, hiyo mambo yao iliisha. Hiyo, and you can evidently see that Uhuru can forgive Rigathi Gachagua very fast, but ya Ruto inakuanga ngumu sana. So that is where I leave it. But I know Uhuru Kenyatta wants to retire into politics completely. That is what I saw in today, and he want to leave the mountain as united. You know, when he left 2022, the mountain was in disarray. You saw the things that happened after. even before even Rigathi. Even Rigathi joined the Mount Kenya people, because the Mount Kenya people had already left the government before even he joined. Okay. So that is the happening. These things will happen, and we'll see them in the coming days. And I think also he'll be an elder in negotiation of the talks of who is going to be the president candidate and the running mate and all these positions.
All right, thank you so much, Joseph, for your input. I'm also seeing my brother Ayaga on the comment section. Gypsy Connor also is still here with us. Marco Bura, I think, also will be joining us very soon. Msimamo umefika pale ulikuwa unaenda ama gari imekwama njiani?
Bwana, nimefika salama, namshukuru Mungu. Nimefika salama, ndio nimeingia nyumbani hapa sasa, nikiwa tayari kabisa kuweza angalau, unajua nimechelewa, lakini chelewa ufike angalau niteme maneno mawili matatu. Kwa hivyo kazi kwako, kama kuna maswali mimi nipo, ila yote 9. Ndugu yangu Ambavuni Joseph hapo apokee zangu haswa za kikamilifu kutoka kwa msimamo. Lakini vile vile pia naona kuna ndugu yangu hapa, sio ni Mark ama ni Simoni, sawa ya Mark pia apokee zangu.
Marco Bura amefika, atatusaidia kuongoza kipindi kidogo, kwa sababu naona kama kuna majukumu inanihitaji mahali, lakini bado siondoki. Kakangu, unajua tulikuwa tumeanza kuzungumza, ukatoa ukatusalimia, baadaye ukatuambia kwamba unaelekea nyumbani, ukifika hivi tena utajumuika na sisi. Kwa kweli umetimiza ahadi. Unajua ni vizuri mtu kutimiza ahadi. Tumezungumzia sana aliyekuwa rais wa amesema nini huyu? Bro Benson, smile smile. Bado okay, sawa, nimesikia kakangu, nashukuru. Tumezungumza sana kuhusu Rais Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, ambaye leo walikuwa katika hafla ya kumuaga kiongozi kule Kirinyaga, na kwa kweli Rigathi Gachagua amekuepo akampokea, na ukiangalia leo Rigathi Gachagua atalala vizuri kwa sababu alikuwa anafurahi sana. We kwako, unaona kama hii italeta chachu ama itaongezea Rigathi faida kisiasa katika Mlima Kenya? Kakangu.
Naam kaka.
Maoni yako gani?
Unajua ulivyoniuliza, tukiendelea nilijipata niko nje, lakini sasa unaweza niuliza vizuri sasa maswali yote yale, alafu niendelee kujibu kama kawaida.
Asante kakangu. Leo kuna hafla ya leo ambapo ilihudhuriwa na rais pamoja na Rigathi Gachagua, na kwa maonekano Rigathi Gachagua ni mtu leo alikuwa amefurahi sana. Hata ukiangalia kwa kanda za video ambao zinatembea katika mtandao, unaona kwamba amefurahi. Na vile vile pia unajua historia kati ya Rigathi na Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, nikikukumbusha tu wakati ambapo Rais Uhuru alikuwa anatoka kwa mamlakani, kuna yale matamshi Rigathi alitoa ambapo ilikera watu wengi, hata Uhuru Kenyatta pia. Na leo hii tunaona alikuwa amefurahi, vile vile akaomba msamaha. Wewe kwako vipi? Wewe unaionaje?
Unajua kaka, kwa kweli unaweza fanya jambo kisha mwisho wa siku ukajutia. Mwambie anarudi. Ukimwambia naenda, lazima akalione kwanza, alafu ndio arudi. Yaani siku zote mwambie mtu anarudi ndio atakuelewa. Lakini ukimwambia naenda, lazima aende akalione haswata mpaka ajue kwamba hili silo, kwa sababu Uhuru aliweka wazi. Jamani, mimi ndio mlala na mgonjwa hapa, namjua jinsi anavyopumua. Hivi ni ombi tu kwamba jamani, huku siko. Lakini kwa kweli mtu ambiwa anarudi, haambiwa anaenda. Kwa hivyo hili leo kwamba naomba msamaha ni kwamba kwa kweli ameenda kuliona gongo, ndio hili limempiga la kichwa, ndio amegundua kwamba yale nilikuwa naambiwa. Sasa amekuja kutimilika. Kwa hiyo hili ni fundisho haswa kwetu kwamba kwamba mtu mwambie anaenda, mwambie anarudi, haswa ukimwambia anaenda lazima akalione. Lakini vile vile pia umuhimu huu wa kuweza kurudi pamoja na kukaa pamoja na kuombana msamaha ndio utu uzima. Pili, siasa ya mlima ina wahitaji wote, kwa maana huyu yuko na Jubilee na huyu yuko na DCP. Kwa hiyo kama hawa hawatafungamana mawazo, basi watawatatiza watu wa mlima, kwa sababu huyu atachukua na fungu lake na huyu atachukua na fungu lake. Na mwisho wa siku hapa kama kutatokea mtu wa tatu, basi mtu wa tatu, unajua panapogombana wawili, basi akitokea mtu wa tatu, basi yeye kazi yake ni kukanya. Kwa hiyo hapa ingempa mtu fursa ambayo kwa hakika haswa angetumia haswa kuweza kupita katikati hapo. Lakini kama watafungamana pamoja na kuamua kufanya kazi pamoja ili kuweza kutengeneza vyama vyao, kuweza kuhakikisha kwamba wanavileta, wanavitembeza, wanatembea navyo na wanafanya kazi kwa pamoja na waje na makubaliano kwamba watasimamisha mgombezi mmoja, kwangu naona mimi linatija, kwa sababu kile ambacho kunazungumzia Uhuru ndio kile ambacho kimeweza kutokea hapa. Mfano, naweza nikanukuu maneno ya Uhuru hapa, mheshimiwa Uhuru hapa, jamani, mimi nikianukuu, jamani, kwamba kuna wale watu wa wewe moja, wewe zako mbili ndio hizi, ni moja ni nani, nusu ya Mwananchi, lakini hizi ni tano ni zangu. Na kwa kweli haswa hili limejionyesha machoni, kwa vitendo, kwa kila aina. Ndio maana unakuta sasa hivi viongozi wetu wamepeleka kwamba lazima tuabudu kwamba na tuamini kwamba maendeleo sasa hivi hayako tena haswa kwa mtu mwingine zaidi ya kiongozi wa taifa. So kwa kweli ni inaashiria wazi kwamba hizi zangu tano zipo na nusu ya Mwananchi ipo, na wewe fulani tunaelewana vizuri, fungu lako ndio hili. Ndio nakuta sasa hapa kuna broad based government. We kidogo bro, uzeni kidogo. Unakuta kwamba kuna huu kuhuba wa broad based government ambao sasa unaashiria kwamba fungu lako ni hili na mimi na fungu langu ni hili, na haya yamekuja kutimilika. Ndio maana Gachagua anajutia kwa kile ambacho ameliweza kukizungumza na kuweza kumkashifu peupe na kumuona kwamba yeye ni kikwazo, lakini mwisho wa siku kimemramba, kwa sababu alikanywa kwamba huku siku akasema ndiko, na sasa amegundua kwamba siku amerudi huku nyumbani sharti aombe msamaha, na huu msamaha mimi naona kwamba ni jambo la kawaida. Pili, nikimalizia, there is no enmity in politics, yani there's no permanent friend or permanent enemy in politics. So hili nalo lipo. Kwa hivyo wanaogombana mchana basi usiku wanaweza patana, na wanaogombana usiku na mchana wanaweza wakapatana. Hili lipo, ni kawaida, ni jambo la kisiasa, unaona. Kwa hivyo ukuhuba huu na kulegeana kwa msamaha, basi labda pengine ni kwa manufaa ya vyama, lakini vile vile wale wafuasi wa hivi vyama haswa kuona kwamba hii ni timu moja sasa hivi. Kwa kwangu mimi naweza kusema it's a plus.
Okay, asante sana kakaangu kwa maoni yako. Vile vile tunataka kushukuru wale ambao wako na sisi, ukiingia pale comment section, ambao pia wanazungumza na sisi pale hivyo, wanatupatia mawazo yao, tunazipokea. Naona ndugu yangu mwingine hapa ameniambia, bro Ben, stop smiling, it is raining and raining, heavyweight 2027 bado. Anatuambia sisi tuko hapa, tutawasubiri tuone wakiwa katika uwanjani mchuano nani atatokea mshindi, na tutakuletea habari jinsi zitakuwa zinapatikana. Makobura, habari gani?
Good evening.
Yes.
Good. Thank God.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm saying hi to you. I'm saying hi to Msimamo. I'm saying hi to good friend Joseph. I'm saying hi to Miguda. And again, at the comment section, I'm saying hi to everyone who is watching, and I'm also saying a big thank you to a good friend, a good here. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. I'm here, of course, to give my opinions. And I just wanted to start by, there was a clip that I was reading somewhere, where a woman called Isabella Githinji was at the scene Gikomba when their stalls were demolished at 3 a.m. She opened up and said that it wouldn't have happened if the late Raila Amolo Odinga were alive. And, she did mention quite a lot that Raila would not let such kind of things to happen. And then that brings me to this question now. Why? I'm trying to connect it with the scene that we saw today, the kind of good reception that the former president Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta received, the funeral that he had attended, where I can say that he was treated as a sitting president, of course, accorded the maximum respect. And, that then brought a lot of questions to me again. And I tried asking myself, why would Kenyans embrace the former president Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta that high, like the kind of good reception he got today? And then I told myself that it could be the situation on the ground might be making the people to see something that they might have not seen those days. And that also tells you that the people have, there's some regret. Let me put it that way. There's some regret amongst the voters or the people, because when they see him coming, they will relate. Some of them are asking or are saying that how they wish they listened to Uhuru. Some of them are saying that how they wish Uhuru was still the president of the republic. So, these are some of some of the questions that people are asking. But above all, let me just wait and hear the question that you bring forth before I give my opinion.
Thank you so much, Makobura, for that, and for the especially testimony that you watched from the lady saying that it could have not happened if Raila Odinga could have been alive. That's a question that I will ask you at a later time. But Makobura, when you look at it politically, you've talked about the reception of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta has usually this soft spot that whenever he goes, the connection between him and the people, it's usually natural. It is usually natural wherever he goes. I've never seen him anywhere going to a place then people do not kind of like cheer, and you see the happiness in the people faces. I don't know this soft spot that he has for people. Especially for Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. It happens not even in Kirinyaga, everywhere he has gone, especially you would see any gathering, you will see that Uhuru Kenyatta is just loved. It's a natural love that people have towards him. But now we are looking at this today at this funeral. There are quite a number of observations that we made, Makobura. From the government side, we did not see somebody from the government side. When you look at the entire service, it was calm, very peaceful, and very respectful. And today, it was accorded the best send-off. And also, we saw a quite number of united opposition leaders were present. And what the conversation is going around is about Rigathi Gachagua and Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, from the body language and everything that happened. And this is the first time that Rigathi Gachagua maybe was shaking hands with Uhuru Kenyatta ever since Uhuru Kenyatta left office. And Rigathi Gachagua, during when he was exiting, on the insult that Rigathi Gachagua said. Now, when you look at that, do you see a possibility of Rigathi Gachagua learning from some of the speeches that Uhuru made, talking about the leadership of insult, whereby you should not insult the people? Do you see him learning? And also learning from Uhuru Kenyatta to humility, that despite the fact that you insulted me, I still have that space within me, and to talk to you as a brother, even to smile with you. That is it. So then the third one, do you see that Rigathi Gachagua and Uhuru Kenyatta have been having talks behind the scenes, because the reception alone speaks a lot?
Okay, thank you. Would you kindly confirm that I'm audible?
Yes, you are, brother.
Okay, thank you. First, I would like to dwell more on the words or the message of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And more of what he said is he did warn, actually, the people from the mountain that they should not repeat it. He warned the people of Mount Kenya against, against re-electing President Ruto. And of course, this is this is something that he is not actually doing for the first time. He did it last time, and this time around, whenever he's speaking out, of course, he's repeating the same thing. The question that is then coming is, what is it that is going on? And I can clearly say that it is already a plan that has been made between, let me say, the opposition. They have decided that they're going to work together, and Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is part of this team. That is what I can say. If we dwell more on his remarks, I can say that the game here is clear, and that there is unity between Rigathi Gachagua, there is unity between Kalonzo, there is unity between Martha, and of course there is unity between Orengo and the opposition team. This is a serious headache to the current president and the UDA together with their new team. And I can say that it is not going to be easy for the Mountaineers, for the president to receive a good support in the mountain region. And there's again possibility of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, should he decide that he's going to get into the field to speak about these issues, then there's a possibility that he will get a huge support. And being that he had made these remarks before, I'm seeing a huge possibility of him getting, convincing the people of Mountain, and not just the people of Mountain, all those people who are not happy with the president, the current president, and how things are being run. I can clearly say that it is not going to be easy. If they decide to move as they are currently moving, then the president has to get back to the drawing board and see whether he's going to manage, because the Uhuru side or the signals that we are seeing here are, the signals are clear. And again, I can say that the battle has been drawn. It is, of course, between the current regime and the opposition. The opposition, of course, is led by quite a number of people who still have influence, depending on the language they will use to convince the people of Mountain. A combination of Rigathi, a combination of Uhuru, a combination of Martha and all those other people within the mountain can do a huge harm to the current president politically. And I think that would be my take on that particular statement. Msimamo, unataka kuongeza ama kuongeza something on it? Bwana Msimamo? But as I wait for Msimamo to come, I also want to say that Msimamo, yes?
Yes, brother. Naam kaka. Mark.
Yes, proceed Msimamo.
Kuna swali umeniuliza kweli hapo?
Yes, nimekuuliza. What do you want to add on the statement that I've made based on my thinking about the formation of the opposition and what they are working towards?
The information.
the combination, the current combination that we are seeing, the president, the former president, Rigathi, and the opposition leaders. What is your take on that unity, and how is it going to? How are they going to achieve it politically?
You know, hawa watu wamejipanga, they are set, kweli wa mambo, kwa sababu kila dalili inaonyesha hawa watu wameamua na wanajua nini wanakifanya, wanajua ni nani watasimamisha. Kwa hivyo hapa ni wanachezesha mtu tu ili waone kwamba hawa hana mpango, hawa hana kajenda, hawa kama tulivyosikia sio mikutano ile ya Juja upande ule wa pili, lakini wale viongozi walikuwa upande huo na Murku na nini. So lakini wanaelewa fika hawa jamaa wana mpango, kwa sababu huwezi mtrace ni nani ambaye ataweza kusimama kwa sasa hivi. Maana hawa jamaa wamefungamana kiasi kwamba huwezi jua haswa ni nani. So it's to me ukubwa huu na ukaribu huu ambao wanaungana wote, Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta, Gachagua kuja pamoja, viongozi wote wa opposition kuja pamoja, kina my party leader Martha Karua, mzee wetu haswa Kalonzo, it resemble mambo makubwa. So tujipange kwamba kuna vitu vinakuja vizuri haswa, kwamba ni moto huu wa kuotea mbali this time around. Wasiwasi wangu ni kwamba pamoja na ukuhuba, pamoja na kupendwa, pamoja na kupata supporters, but swali la kujiuliza, how are they well prepared kwa system ile ya uchaguzi, ili tuepukane haswa na vifaranga vya kompyuta. So wakija na mfumo, maana hapo ndo hawajatuletea mfumo maalum kabisa. Unanimous vote hiyo haina shida, kwa sababu votes huwa zinakuwa manipulated according to me. So maybe haswa watueleza swala la IBC, kwa sababu tumeona kwamba IBC yale yametokea mbele na by election zote zile. So how are they well prepared? So watueleze hilo zaidi. Lakini kama ni upenzi na kama ni kuja pamoja, wananchi wanapendezwa, mimi nikiwa pamoja, mmoja wao haswa nikipendezwa haswa na hiyo move, kwamba wanatuonyesha tu mageuzi ndio haya. Lakini mimi kwangu haijatosha mpaka pale watatuambia uhakika wa kura zetu pale debeni. Hata kama tutaondoka, tutafurika kama nzige ifikapo 2027, kwamba jenzi wamefurika na wananchi wale melele wamefundisha, kila rika limefurika kuweza kutimiza haki ya kidemokrasia ile ya kimsingi ya kuweza kumchagua kiongozi wakati huo, basi watu wahakikishie kwa kweli kwamba kura ile haitaweza kuenda kwingine, ita count pale debeni. So wakitimiza hili, basi tutamaliza hii msemo wa kwamba nitawamaliza asubuhi mapema na breakfast wala si lunch. Hili jambo mimi linanikera zaidi, kwa sababu nashangaa hii breakfast ni ipi na lunch ni ipi. So wajipange zaidi, kwa sababu katika hiyo lunch na breakfast inaonekana kwa inaonyesha wazi kwamba watu wamejipanga zaidi upande ule, na kwa kweli itatamausha kama tutaweza kwamba 2027 tunaishia tena mahakamani kama tunavyoshuhudia wakati chaguzi zile zingine. So kwa kweli hilo ndilo kubwa, lakini kwa kuja pamoja kunaashiria ule mmoja wao, na pia vile vile haswa kunaonyesha kwamba hakika hawa mabwana wametaka haswa mabadiliko kwa kweli, na wako tayari kwa mabadiliko. Lingine kama nilivyotangulia kusema kwamba time limit tunahita hiyo proposal imekuja na my party leader Martha Karua kwamba just 5 terms, yani not 5 terms but 5 years, yani 1 term ile ya miaka 5 inatosha kutathmini kiongozi kwamba anafaa kurudi ama hafai kurudi, na kama hajafanya ambalo ni natija, basi kusiwe na mvutano watu wanapelekana huku na kule, kuna kawaida watu lazima wakaa hapa miaka 10, hakuna hizi historia zote hazina tija. Miaka 5 inatosha mwananchi kuweza kutathmini kiongozi wake kwa kweli, na ana nafasi ya kurudi kama atakuwa ametenda haswa yaliyo natija. Mambo kwamba niambiwe kwamba tungoje kwanza wakati nikamilishe, baada ya miaka 5 nitakuwa miaka 10 ndio nitakuwa nimekamilisha ajenda yangu, huo wote ni kututeka muda na kwao kuendelea haswa kufanya yale ambayo yanatija kwa miaka 10. Kwa kama ni kukusanya wamekusanya, kama ni kufanya vyovyote vile wamefanya vyovyote vile. So kwa kweli hayo ndio mambo mimi nitaka kuyazungumzia kaka yangu hapa, mdogo wangu Maka, kwamba ukuhuba huu unaufagilia, lakini warudi haswa United Brazil watuambie how well are they prepared in terms na masuala na vote hasa na system ile, kwa sababu Kamago yupo, IBC ni ile iliyotengenezwa, na naona haya mambo hayawali njuga zaidi. So wakituambia kwamba tutashinda kwa kujitokeza kwa wingi, kwa sababu niko kadi na hawa wananchi wengine ambao wamechoka so na uongozi, but watu wahakikishie, how well are they prepared kuhakikisha kwamba kura zetu zitahesabika pale debeni. Hilo ndo nataka kulisikia haswa, nahitaji kulisikia haswa kwa viongozi wetu kwa palipofikia kwa sasa, kwa sababu ushindi umewaelekea, ni kuja pamoja tu kama timu. Asante.
Okay, thank you so much Bwana Msimamo. Sijui ndugu yetu brother Benson amefika wapi? Nilikuwa nimezungumza na yeye kidogo, kama patikani tena, na sijui nitafanya vipi. I would like to end at this point. I'm having a small emergency and I thought Brother Ben was around. I don't know whether he's still around to just pick kidogo. Yeah, but meanwhile, let me just give my closing remarks on this association. What we've seen is a combination of leaders who are willing to go beyond their wishes. What we are seeing is a combination of politicians, the likes of the former President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, Rigathi Gachagua, the former DP, and of course the former Vice President, together with the former cabinet secretaries who have joined hands to work together. Their main goal, of course, according to them, is to bring good leadership. Bringing a good leadership, according to them, would mean that it's sending Kasongo home. Of course, they've highlighted quite a number of reasons, but as well, the question that people are asking is how they're going to achieve this. Because, of course, it is not easy removing a sitting president, and especially in Africa. We've known how bad, how ruthless sometimes politicians get when they feel that they're being removed from these positions. So ours, of course, is to just wait and see how things are going to turn out. And the Kenyan politics is changing. And it's changing. Brother Ben, if you are there, kindly, I don't know if you can just hold kidogo. I pick something. Yeah. Okay, thank you. I don't know if you will hold on kidogo. I pick something and given I think you did not see my communication.
All right,
but I wanted to say that I wanted to say that this combination of what we are seeing currently would mean it's going to unfold differently based on the views of each political class. The president has to get back to the drawing board and decide on how he's going to get back to the Mount Kenya and possibly convince them otherwise. Because what we are currently seeing is a lot of resistance that is being caused by the former DP that was removed from office, together with some cabinet secretaries and political class from that particular area. So it is not going to be easy for him to have a soft landing point in the coming general election, that is 2027. So what I can say is that there's much that is still going to unfold. We are always available to give our views based on the happenings that we will be witnessing on a daily basis.
Okay, so thank you so much, Mr. Makobura, for your time, and I hope you will be making it sooner, solving the issue. But Bro Benson, one term is a real anaconda hana kwa yani Wakenya nyinyi mko na majina ambapo zingine hata mimi nashindwa hata kuisoma. Kaka, habari gani?
Kaka, salama kabisa ndugu yangu.
Unajua Kenya nimegundua katika nchi yetu ni kwamba Wakenya ni watu ambao walibarikiwa sana, ama naweza sema kwamba kupatiana majina kila uchao. Wakenya watakupatia majina, kwa sababu hata tukiangalia katika historia ya Kenya, mi nadhani kwamba Rais William Ruto ni mtu ambaye amepatiwa majina mengi hapa kwa siasa, kutokea Kasongo, imekuja tena gani, Kasongo, tukapata tena El Chapo. Unakumbuka ile mashini ya kupiga chapati, ile maneno iliikia wapi bwana?
Zakayo.
Ebu tufikirie, ebu tuangalie jambo fulani hapa. Unajua, kuna wakati ambapo tulihakikishiwa sana sana watoto wetu ama na mandugu zetu ambao wako katika shule za Nairobi, wakati rais alikuwa na ziara ya Nairobi, Nairobi County, mojawapo ya vitu ambazo rais aliahidi ilikuwa ile mashini ambayo itachapisha chapati. Ama bado inatengenezwa kaka?
Chapati sio ni 100,000 ama ni 10,000 ama ni chapati ngapi kwa siku vile?
Zilikuwa mingi sana, kwa sababu ukiangalia idadi ya wanafunzi ambao wako katika Nairobi County ni wengi sana, na hiyo ndio hombi ambao Sakaja alifanya. Rais akasema ndawaletea hiyo. Mpaka saa hizi sidhani kama hata mimi ndahitaji hiyo mashini, kwa sababu nataka nichape chapati mingi sana. Ushaelewa?
Hapa ndipo liposhuka heshima. Unajua heshima haitafutwi. Heshima hujileta kutokana na matendo yako. Lakini ukija ukiona unalazimisha heshima, basi wewe una mapungufu ya heshima. Na heshima ni uaminifu, kutimiza. So unaposhindwa na kutimiza jambo ambalo hata bibi yako muahidi, mke wangu kesho mimi nakuletea gauni zuri, anatia matumaini kwamba kesho nitapata gauni zuri. Ukija unakuja na lugha atakuelewa. Kesho kuto unamwahidi wacha gauni, nitalibandika na bagi, nitalibandika na viatu mke wangu, na ni siku ya 4. Lile la jana la gauni tu limekushinda tena, alafu unaongeza na viatu na bagi juu, alafu na simu, alafu usitimilize, basi ninakushusha thamani haswa hata kwa mke wako mwenyewe kwamba huyu ndivyo alivyo. Unajua sasa ikiingia hiyo huyu ndivyo alivyo, heshima inatoka, inashuka wazima. So unakuta utofauti wa viongozi waliopita. Kweli kulikuwa na mapungufu mazima, ukabidi ule kuwepo, mambo yale kuwepo, lakini heshima hii ambayo ilishushwa haswa kwa kiongozi, na hakuna hata siku moja kuna kiongozi alijipata amewekwa kwa sanduku haswa na vijana. Ni because umekosea vijana heshima kwa kuweza kudanganya mazima. Mfano, tutatenga budget ama nimekuja na milioni hizi, ile hali watu Kenya wanajua kwamba bajeti yetu ni shilingi ngapi ambayo imetengwa kwa hiyo mwaka ambao ni financial year. Then wanauliza sana hizi pesa zingine zitakuwa zinatumika na kuna zinatokea wapi? Alafu kibaya zaidi kuweza kuwatumia haswa wananchi, haswa kuwakamua. Unajua Nyerere alizungumza, mzee wetu Nyerere, rais wa Tanzania, kwamba usiwahi haswa kuweza kuwafanya wananchi wako kuwafanya biashara wananchi wako. Hili kwa sababu litakushusha mazima. So kwa kweli heshima haitafutwi, heshima hujileta, na heshima hutegemea na matendo yako. Kama kwa miaka 3 angeimplement hii chapati kweli Nairobi ikaonekana, basi hata Kwale huku tungazima kwamba jamani tuleteni hii chapati, mashina ya chapati. Lao ya gesi la shilingi 500-300 lingetimilika, basi tungeshukuru. Na kubwa zaidi hatua mtandao huu haswa bundles zile, kwamba hakika tutaweza kuwa na bundles za kutosha, yani bado tutakuwa si mambo na kubangaiza. Basi kuna msimamo tungekuwa sasa ndio wa kwanza kuweza kuimba kwamba tuko kwa tutam. Lakini sasa hakuna hata moja lilotimilika pamoja na hili la chapati kaka. Kwa hiyo huku ndo unakuta kwamba heshima imepungua haswa, ndo unakuta kejeli, majina alizuka na nini na matendo sasa. Maana uwezi amuru haswa vijana wale ambao sasa hivi unasema unawajali, nenda wakati ule uliwaamuria haswa mambo ambayo hayana tija, lakini licha kwamba walijitokeza kufanya yanayofaa, wewe uliamua kabisa kukata ndoto ile, lakini sasa hivi unawaambia tutawa compensate.
Unajua tumeongea hapo mambo ya kucompensate sana sana, lakini kuna jambo moja ambao sisi tunasahau kulitaja ama kutafuta haki, kwa sababu tuseme kwamba jambo limetokea. Jambo haiwezi tokea, lazima kuna jambo lilitokea, lakini kuna mtu ambaye alifadhili ama sikufadhili, ama mtu ambaye alifanya kitendo kama hicho, ndio jambo hiyo katokea. Sasa ule mtu ambaye alifanya jambo hilo, utasema tu tuwalipe tu, lakini hakuna adhabu ambayo anapata. Unaona kama hiyo itatutengenezea mazingira mazuri katika jamii yetu ama katika nchi yetu, ama mtu atakuwa anafanya makosa
ndo kule kumfanya mwananchi ni mbumbumbu, yani unampaka mafuta na mgongo wa chupa. Kwa sababu haiwezekani kwamba wenye walifanya vile hatujashuhudia wapi wameweza kuhojiwa na wapi haswa vyombo vya sheria vinaweza kutumika. Ni ile kwamba tunaishia kwamba uchunguzi unafanyika, kesi ziko mahakamani, haziamuliwi kwa haraka, hazina tija, na kama zitaamuliwa basi zitaamuliwa kwa niaba ya kisiasa. So kwa kweli ni jambo la kutamausha kwamba unaweza kulipa fidia, na fidia ile wale ambao waathiriwa wamepoteza uhai, watu wao wameweza kupoteza uhai, wale waliofanya haswa watu wale wapoteze uhai wapo bado wanarandaranda, licha kwamba kamera zilikuwepo, mambo yalikuwepo, yaliyofanyika wanajulikana, na watu wako kimya, wanakimbilia kwa compensation. Na ndio maana alikuwa anapingana sana na watu wa broad based government kipindi hicho kwamba mnaona sasa tumetenga bilioni hizi ambazo zitakuwa za kuweza kuwa compensate wale vijana ambao hii yote ni kuweza kuwaleta tuna box, then mtu unamwambia nyamaza, lakini vile vile unamwambia hata sitaki kulieka hilo kwa sababu litaonekana kama tusi, ila tu huwezi kumdanganya mtu kiasi hicho kwamba unamcompensate wakati ule ule haki yake ambayo anaihitaji kujua, haswa hao waliofanya na mambo kama haya wamefanywa nini. Hakuna, huo ni uongo. Kwa hiyo hapo ndo kufeli kabisa. Kwa hiyo msili yote tusituke, kwa sababu Mungu ana sababu. Kumbuka watu hii lijimu lijikaanga pale waliposema kwamba si uchawi bali ni maombi, kama tunakumbuka hiyo kauli. Si uchawi bali ni maombi. Lakini vile vile kata kuangalia siasa ya 2022 ilibezi zaidi katika misingi ya dini, kiasi kwamba watu waliamini kwamba hapa kuna uungu ndani. Unaona? Lakini sasa Mungu naye si dhalimu. Si dhalimu. Huwezi litaja tu jina lake tu hivi hivi, yani usijianike. Sasa mdomo ule uliosema kwamba niletwa hapa kwa sababu ni Mungu, ndo sasa tofauti kwamba sasa inaonyesha kwamba Mungu ana fungu lake na mwanadamu ana fungu lake. Ndio maana unakuta wanaposhika pana, kila wanapotapatapa kupapapasa, basi hapana teleza. Walijaribu kuleta ODM at least walete wafuasi wote aswa pamoja, the whole country, imeshindikana. Ameweza kufunganya viongozi, wananchi amewacha na Orengo na Sifuna na Babu Owino. So huu ni mtu umeteleza huu. Walisema chapati zitaletwa Nairobi na mashine ya kutengeneza chapati na watu watashangaa, ila hajatimilika. Mbolea hii iliyoambiwa kwamba tumeshusha haswa bei, cha ajabu haswa ndicho kilisababisha haswa Linturi aende nyumbani, kwa sababu mbolea ile tulishangaa kuna mawe, kuna mavi ya punda na kadhalika. So kwa kweli kila mtu waliojaribu kupapasa uliteleza. Kwa hivyo wasije hapa kwa tuambia kwamba tunahitaji miaka mingine 5 kwa sababu tukamilishe kazi tuliyoanzia. Hawa ni wanafiki. Wanahitaji miaka 5 hiyo tena wakusanye pamoja ili waseme 2 ndio hizi, wewe yako 1.5 ndio hii, haka kafungu ni kama mwananchi, na hizi 100 ni za kwangu ama hizi 5 ni za kwangu. That's the reality. Kwa hivyo tumekuja pale pale kwa Mheshimiwa Uhuru alipotukanya na mambo mengi haswa, na hatukusikia, tukaona kwamba hii ni dynasty, tunapelekwa na na dynasty na state na nini na kila kitu, lakini mwisho wa siku tujipanga wenyewe, tumejikaanga na mafuta yetu, haswa Rigiji haswa kiongoza kwamba alijika kwa mafuta yake, na sasa hivi amejua kweli haswa sikio siku zote halizidi kichwa, na kushindana na nazi kushindana na nazi, basi hiyo hapo ndipo ni mtihani, kwa sababu siku zote nazi ashindana na jiwe kivyo vyote. Kwa hiyo Gachagua alikuwa nazi, Uhuru alikuwa jiwe, na ndio maana unakuta nazi imejigundua kwamba mimi nilikuwa basi ninafanya kitu ambacho ni cha ajabu haswa, kwa maana ningejimaliza kwa jiwe. Ndio maana amerudi kuomba msamaha. Kaka, mimi nitaachia hapa, asante.
Asante sana kwa hayo. Pia kuna habari pia tunataka hapa tujadili sana kuhusiana na, turudi kwa kaunti kidogo. tunajua vizuri kwamba county kuna wale watu ambao wanafanya supply of materials to the county. But kuna jambo hili la Sami Kioko ambapo imekuwa katika mtandao kwa muda mrefu kwamba kuna jambo alifanya pale Machakos County, akazawadiwa, akaipiga kandarasi, sasa malipo. Na leo tunazungumza kijana huyo yuko katika hospitali kwa sababu kwamba alishikwa na akapigwa kwa mujibu wa mtandao. Sasa jambo ambalo mimi nauliza ni kwamba kama kwa kweli kuna jambo ambalo alipatiwa kazi akafanya jinsi ambao anafaa afanye. Sasa ikikuja hapa kwa malipo, unaona kwamba inakuwa ni taswishi. Na hatujui kweli. Wavinya pia anasema kwamba all the registered, like he's not among the registered suppliers. And this is a young man who was trying to build up his future, who was trying just to do and if you look at the Daily Nation, the lavish, ukiona ile pesa ambao magavana wanaweka kwa maofisi zao ni mabilioni, utapata kwamba vijana watasaidika haje kiajira. Kama mtu amepata mbinu ya kujiandikisha yeye mwenyewe na kufanya kazi na county, unapata kwamba alipwe, inakuja mpaka inakuwa inafika mahali ambapo labda inafika pale imefikia, vijana watafanya. Jambo ya pili, ukweli iko wapi? Kwa sababu Sami anasema kwamba na dadake kwamba they supplied the materials, but on the other side the county are denying that. So where is the truth, and how can we know the truth? And what is Kalonzo Musyoka saying? Because that is his county, and she's saying that he's fighting for the people of Kenya. We cannot only concentrate on President William Ruto and say how President William Ruto has done all this, is doing, but like these governors who are not supporting the young people. What can we say about that?
Kaka.
Yes.
Kaka.
Yes, nakusikiza.
Ya Ngoso yapewe Ngoso, ya Kaisari yapewe Kaisari.
Yeah. Sasa huyu Kaisari wa nini? Wa Machakos watuambie ukweli.
Na si wa Machakos tu.
Yeah.
Haya mambo naweza nikasema governors wote walikuwa wameingia hapa katika huu msimu, na si makosa yao. Kwa sababu maji siku zote hufuata mkondo. Light kama serikali hii ingetelelea manane sheria na katiba, hata governor angekuwa na uoga kuweza kufanya mambo kama haya. So tusilaumu kwamba hayo kuna viongozi, hata akipiga kelele Kalonzo akisema wao kuna hivi na hivi na hivi, mwisho wa siku yeye hayuko kwenye power. Ni kiongozi kulitajika, lakini sasa ni kupiga tu ile kelele kama anavyopiga mheshimiwa Gachagua hapa, lakini mwisho wa siku hana kichunguzi zaidi ya kwamba ana expose tu. Kwa labda apige kelele huu, lakini mwisho wa siku mwenye kuozesha huyu mnyama ni mwenye mtambo, mwenye mtego ule alotega. Mnyama ameshikwa na haendi hasa kuangalia tena, huyu ndio mwenye kulaumika. Kwa hivyo ya Kaisari apewe Kaisari, na Ngoso apewe Kaisari, ndio Wavinya abebane na msalaba wake. Aeleze kwa nini haya yamekuwa, kwa nini kuna hayo mambo yanaendelea. Yeye ndio ambaye anafaa kusema, kwa sababu she's the head of that county. In fact she's the president of Machakos county. Yeye ndio kusema. So atueleze, na kama ni kama ameshindwa kueleza, basi vyombo husika basi vingefaa kuuliza vile vinafuatilia haswa na masuala kama haya, ya masuala kama ya hela. Na wana vyombo hivyo vipo na tunavilipa mishahara kutokana na ushuru wetu, ili visimamie haswa mambo ambayo yanafanyika, haswa ufujaji wa hela, lakini vile vile haswa mambo kama haya ambayo yanafanyika kinyume na sheria. Sasa vyombo vipo, lakini sasa kama system ni mbaya na alio pale kwenye hiyo system ni mtu wangu, na ni mtu kwa sababu tumemweka, na hii taifa letu tumeambiwa kwamba heshimu mtu mwenye amekupa kazi, hufai kugombana na mtu ambaye amekupa kazi. Haya ni mambo si yangu, yalizungumzwa juzi na SG wa UDA akimponda haswa huyu Sifuna kwamba yeye alileta utovu wa nidhamu na hakupeana heshima wale ambao wameweza kumpa hiyo kazi. So kupewa kazi na mtu sikumaanisha kwamba usifanye ambayo anatija ati ufiche kwa sababu nitakose kazi kwa sababu kuna mtu ambaye amenipa kazi atanijaji. Hiyo si katiba, hiyo si sheria. So kwa kweli hakuna haja hapa kumuingiza Kalonzo. Mimi sioni haja kwamba tumuingize Kalonzo. Wavinya ana haki ya kujibu, lakini kama hakuna haki ya kujibu, kuna vyombo ambavyo tumeviteua na tunavilipa mshahara kwa ajili ya hii kazi hii ya mambo kama haya. Viko wapi? Tatizo liko wapi? So tukufungama na hivi wazi tutarudi pale pale kwamba maji yanafuata mkondo. Kwa hiyo serikali nzima hii ambayo ndio serikali kuu ingetilia maanani, basi hatungesikia hata kuna mtu ambaye ameweza kufuja hata shilingi ya Mkenya. Lakini je, kama umeanza wewe baba mtu, je mtoto itakuwaje? Asante.
Okay, thank you so much, Bwana Msimamo. And allow me to just acknowledge the presence of Judith, Goodia, and everyone who is watching. And just remind you that this is for the Benson Media. However, here we do say that your opinion counts. If you are watching for the first time, kindly like and subscribe, because if you do so, it is a way of supporting us. Na sisi hapa of course tutasema ni asante. I want to of course proceed with the conversation. Kenyans have quite a number of questions that they are asking themselves. So what we are waiting to see is what are the possibilities of all these the good things that they are expecting. More so the expectations that they've raised, that of course the political class are the ones who are supposed to be ensuring that the promises, the challenges that the people of Kenya are going through are sorted. So something else that I wanted us to just give our views on, Bwana Msimamo, is I can see we have quite a number of things that we can give our views on. I don't know whether you gave your views on, you talked about the Senate versus the governors, Bwana Msimamo. Did you talk about it, or I bring the question?
Getting you properly. Kindly kidogo tu ni kupate vizuri.
Okay, nasema kindly confirm kama unasikiza. We've been seeing the conflict between the Senate versus the governors. The other day we saw the governors went to court wakisema ya kwamba senators are harassing them. So the issue of course is the division of revenue bill, which of course has stalled in the Senate. Senators insist governors must appear in person to answer audit queries. Is this accountability at work or political obstruction? And today we saw the governor of Samburu complaining that he was mishandled within the premises of the Senate, and he went out and of course did release a statement saying that those senators must face him individually, and he will deal with them. Whoever comes, he will deal with them at his own level. So the question I want to ask you, this is something that has been going on. It is not the first time that we are seeing it. Senators versus the governors. But again, most of what we've always seen is some senators are the ones who have gone to the governors to become governors. Look at the other day, it was Sakaja, who was also a senator, and of course currently now the governor of Nairobi. He was supposed to face the audit, but he did not appear. The Senate had to give directives that he should be arrested, and then he appeared. What is your take on all this back and forth between the governors and the senators?
Asante. Mimi nitalijibu kwa haraka kwa namna hili swali lako. Nitasema hivi, nakumbuka fika kuna wengi walikuwa ma senators alafu wakaenda kwa governors. But this does not mean mtu atageuza ile tafsiri alionao ndani ya nafsi yake. Unajua kuna wale ambao haswa wanajua kutoka kwa Senate kile kwa governor nimeingia kwa mapendi. So mimi ndio kusema maana nitakusanya ushuru na kila kitu. Unaona, so kama ana roho ya ulafi huyu mtu tafadhali kivyo vyote vile hawezi akasimama ati kwa sababu nilikuwa senator. Anajua the role of senator. So huu mjumbo ambao tunaushuhudia ni kwa sababu ya magavana hawajatenda sawa, wanakwepa maswali ambao wanaulizwa, kwa sababu Senate ndio bunge pekee ambalo naweza nikasema kwa kipindi hiki cha hili regime ndio ambalo limeweza kusimama kuweza kuuliza swala, kusimama katika misingi yake, tofauti na bunge la kitaifa. Maana wanawauliza magavana haswa matumizi ya hela ambao wamepewa kwa muda ule ambao imeendaje. So katika hili unakuta kuna wengine hawaaje katika ule mkao kwa kukwepa maswali na waibu kwa media, na sababu ni mambo ambayo yanakwenda wazi wazi hivi. Ndio maana tumeshuhudia hata Sagaja akikwepa juzi akitafutana, maana amekataa kwenda, na wengi waliokataa kwenda haswa kwenda kuwa grilled pale, na wale walikwenda wakawa grilled, lakini wana ahadi ya kurudi sasa, kurudi tena kule kuweza kutimiza haswa ama kutimilisha haswa kile ambacho haswa walikianzisha, inakuwa ni ngumu, kwa sababu ile ni kuanikwa. Maana senators wana stand katika majukumu yao, jukumu lao ambalo ni jukumu ambalo tumewatwika haswa kikamilifu, kwa sababu wao hawashughuliki na mambo ya mgao wa hela umekuja, lakini wanashughulika haswa na matumizi yale ambayo, ili kusudi mwananchi aelewe kwamba haswa akaunti yangu imepata mgao huu, hela hii imetumika kinamna gani, na kama kutakuwa kuna ufujaji, basi gavana aeleze kwa nini hii pesa imetumika kinamna hii. So to me naweza nikasema haswa bunge la Senate la safari hii ila hii regime limefanya kazi bomba zaidi kuliko na hata bunge zile bunge la kitaifa. Kwa hivyo kwa kweli huu mzozano huo, hawa senators wanatubana mbavu mno huo, it's excuse kwa magavana, especially wale ambao wameweza kufuja hela ya umma bila huruma. Kwa hivyo wakija pale kwa grilled, wanakuwa sasa cha kuzungumza ni kipi. Kwa hiyo wabebe msalaba wao. Sasa kama wale hawaji, basi sheria ifuatwe. Unakuta kama Sagaja mambo alivyokwenda mpaka inspector wa polisi akaweka hadi kwamba hawa watu tutawafuata waje, tunafuma na kufumbua inspector wa general hayafuatilii, na mwisho wa siku ndio yametokea yale ambayo tunaona sasa hivi. Kuna huo mvutano baina ya governors, na kwa sababu hawataki kuwa grilled, wanataka kama bunge la 13 ambalo limemezwa. Kwa hivyo linazungumza kile ambacho akinamfaa haswa kiongozi wao, lakini si kile ambacho kinamfaa mwananchi. For instance, wamepitisha miswada kiholela, wameweza kuimpeach haswa viongozi kiholela, unaona. So unakuta Senate wamestand katika misingi yao, lazima wajue auditing ya pesa ambayo haswa imetuma pale, haswa governor aeleze, wala jiulize, mfano mimi msimamo nimefuja haswa hela hizo, je, nitaendaje, nitaeleza nini pale? Maana pale ni kuanikwa, media ziko pale, wananchi wanafuatilia haswa mahojiano yale, alafu kuamrisha kimaswali. So hii ni kutafuta excuses nyingi tu kwamba wanataka kutia lawama kwa masenators, lakini haswa ugonjwa huu na wao wenyewe magovernors, kwa sababu wangefanya haswa kile ambacho kinatija, basi ukiitwa pale unaenda unaeleza na confidence kwamba kaunti yangu nimeweza kufanya hivi, hela nimeweza kufanya hivi, nimeweza kufanya hivi, wewe huna wasiwasi. Lakini kuna umeanza kutilia mashaka mahali, ina maana wewe ndio mwenye dosari, na mficha ugonjwa siku zote usemwe na kilio. Kwa hiyo sasa hawa walijibana bana, wangoje wasemwe na kilio, kwa sababu huu ni mwiba wa kujitakia na hawaumiza. Asante.
Thank you so much, Bwana Msimamo. And maybe to just ask in your own way, I don't know whether you've answered this. Should governors be compelled to appear before the Senate? And why do you think there's this serious back and forth where it is even getting to a point where people are fighting? I don't know whether you saw what was happening today between the governor of Samburu and the senators. What is wrong? Part of accountability dictates that you have to give, clarification on how the money of the people has been used. Why is it that the governors are feeling like, they're not supposed to be giving that information, or they're not supposed to be appearing before the Senate? We've had instances, quite a number of retired governors. Their assets have always been frozen. Some of them have had serious issues with how they acquired wealth. And again, there has been so many accusations that most of them looted the money that is supposed to be used in the development, or money that is meant for the people. Could this be the reason why they are this fearful to an extent that they don't want to be grilled or to be asked, or what exactly is happening? Why this fear if it is accountability? Why this fear if it is the money of the people? Money, of course, that is gotten from the taxes of the people. Why the fight? Why this consistency in people moving here and there without clarification? What is happening in Kenya and what is happening amongst the political class, the leadership of the Republic of Kenya? Bwana Msimamo. And maybe before you come in, look at the other thing that was happening with Sami Kioko. This guy, comedian. Today I was actually in Machakos, and there were, people demonstrating here and there because of that particular issue. And if you try to follow up that story, you hear that, this guy was given a tender, but he bought it from another company. So many stories which are not really adding up. But the question that people are also asking is, even if he was given a tender from someone else, why not pay them? Pay him through the people who gave him the contract. Why is it that people are being taken round and round, and these are people who offered their services? What exactly is happening, Bwana Msimamo?
Kaka, hata sijui nitaliwekaje kaka yangu, kwa sababu ili siasa yetu kwa kweli, siasa katika taifa letu limewekwa ngazi ya kujipatia mapato, si huduma. So if you get opportunity to be a politician, basa ni wakati wako sasa wa kuweza kuhakikisha kwamba wewe unakuwa bwana kubwa kwa kukusanya. So kwa kweli hili jambo lina kizungumkuti, kwa sababu hata kama ndio akapewa tena mtu mwingine, lakini sitende, wamefanya kazi, si kazi ilifanyika. Basi kama imefanyika, mbona msimpe cha kwake? Kwa hiyo kama sivyo, basi kuna kama ni hivyo, basi kuna mambo ambayo haswa uongozi huo wa county ya government ukaongozwa na gavana mwenyewe wana mashaka, kwa sababu siku zote mtu anayejishuku ni mwenye kidonda. Ukisema jamani, hapa kuna tunuka harufu ya kidonda, basi hafla utakuta mwenye kidonda ameshajishtuka mapema, na huenda hata mkono ukajisahau ukakuta amegusa hapo mahali angalau, unaona. Na so mwenye kujishuku siku ni mwenye kidonda. So hawa hata watafute kitu zingine. Kama tenda ilifanyika, mbona asipewe cha kwake? Na kama ni tenda ilifanyika kwa niaba ya hiyo county. Kwa hiyo kama ilifanywa na kazi ikifanywa, mwisho ni malipo. Mbona malipo yanaganda? Ni because ni kutafuta excuse, lakini already hiyo tenda kuna watu ambao washameza hizo, washatia kibindoni. So ni kutafuta tu kila sababu ya huku na kule, kwa sababu wengi wanaamini ukiwa kwa siasa ni wakati pekee, ndio fursa pekee sasa ya kuweza kupata nafasi ya kuweza kujilimbikizia mali. Ndio nakuta uongozi umekuwa duchu, umekuwa finyu, na wale wanabahatika kwa uongozi na wamefanya hayo, inakuwa pia ngumu kuweza kutoka, licha ya katiba kuwapa nafasi hiyo ya kuweza kuondoka, unaona. Lakini wanaganda pale kusudi, kwa sababu ya kuficha haya. Ndio nakuta aswa inakuwa ngumu aswa ya hawa viongozi ambao wamefanya namna hii kuweza kurukana. Ndio nakuta wanakuja kwa pamoja haraka sana, kama kimeumana, ili kuweza kuona kwamba watajiwezaje haswa akujinusuru katika hili. So siasa kwa kweli ya kwetu, kwa kutiwa siasa kwa kila jambo, kwa kutiwa siasa kwa kila jambo, ndio limetupeleka hapa. Hakuna mahali sasa hivi katika taifa letu hapaingizwi siasa. Ukija swala la usalama litatiwa siasa, sala hili la maendeleo litatia siasa, kila kitu kimetia siasa. So unakuta sasa utendaji kazi ule ambao unafungamana na katiba inakuwa ngumu mno. Kwa hiyo hapa ndani wasipige kioko bure, kwa sababu hiyo nyumba inanuka nyama. Wasilipige ilijibu wa bure, maana ile hali hii nyumba inanuka nyama. Walipe kwanza, alafu watuambie sasa ni nini haswa nini kilijiri, kwa sababu kama tendo ilifanywa na ni county government, it means kazi ilifanyika, na kama ilifanyika basi malipo atoke. Nani anazuia malipo kama hakuna kitu kingine hapa? Hakuna lingine ambalo limejificha chini ya pazia. Kwa mimi huo ndo mchango wangu kakaangu kuhusiana na hili, yani sina usemi zaidi ya hapo kwamba kila mtu abebe msalaba wake. So gavana atueleze Wavinya nini kilijiri, na atoke aswa tueleze kwamba jamani, hii tendo ilikuwa namna hii na namna hii na namna hii. Ndio maana hatukuweza kumlipa because of this and this. Tena sababu ambazo tutakuwa zinatija zinaonyesha aswa, lakini si sababu kama hizi kwamba tutalipaje na tenda haikuwa yake, ilikuwa mtu mwingine. Hii si sababu ya kuwa na tija. Watueleze zaidi haswa, labda kuna mambo zaidi ambao waliona kwamba fika hatuwezi lipa hii, lakini mbona wangoje kazi ifanyike iishe alafu wasilipe? So hapa ndo kunakuwa kuna mapungufu fulani kwao. Kama Kioko kuna cha kwake, apewe cha kwake, na kama chakataa county government na county government leadership ina haki ya kujibu hayo haswa. Kwa nini hawajalipa? Wasituambie kwamba hii kampuni haikuwa ya msimamo, ilikuwa ni ya wakweli. Wako na msimamo, wote wamefanya hiyo kazi, imefanyika. Basi kama imefanyika, kila mtu apewe cha kwake, kwani shida iko wapi? Mimi nitaachia hapo, asante. Na pia niage haswa ndugu zangu wale ambao tumekuwa nao, kwa sababu naelekea kwamba simu yangu inaelekea kuwa na iko 2%, so nitabidi niage haswa kwa hivyo, na nishukuru haswa wale wote ambao wameweza kunisikiza mimi kama msimamo, lakini vile vile kesho ni siku, ni Mungu akijali, Rose kwa hapi nitakuwa papa hapa kuliendeleza. Kwa shukrani kubwa kule upande wa comment section, Judith plus good traffic nani ndugu yangu ambao ni Gudia kwa kazi nzuri upande huo, lakini vile vile pende kushukuru wewe Mark na ndugu zangu ambao wameweza kunitangulia hapa, maana sina budi ila kuaga haswa, maana chaja haiwezi niruhusu na sijashinda hapa kwa kweli, nilikuwa safari kiasi. Asante.
Okay, thank you so much, and allow me to just read these comments. Goody is saying this is why politicians should be appointed on merit, not gender. Actually, this is equality is not about leadership. Okay, yeah, there is much. I think you wouldn't really judge leaders based on their gender, but I can say that leadership is, of course, a God-given gift that is given to not everyone. And for that reason, whether a woman or man, they may have the capacity based on the leadership skills that they have. We've had women leaders who have performed well. We've had men leaders who have performed well. But again, we've also had from both sides those who have messed the countries. And so what really matters is the individual. And that is why I've always said that Kenyans do not really care where the president will come from, whether the president will be a Ugandan or whichever, so long as they can perform their duties without fear or favor, so long as they can perform and ensure that the economy is doing well, so long as they can ensure that people can manage their daily needs, they can afford their basic needs, they can operate easily, they do not care. And that is why I've always said again that the tribal issue that has always been brought forth cannot solve the problems of the people of Kenya. What can solve the problems are leaders who are really having what we call the leadership qualities. People who have in their hearts ability to to be leaders. People who have humanity amongst in themselves. They are the people who can change this country. And so the issues that we've always seen, like tribe does not, gender does not, and Kenyans have, of course, an opportunity to decide who they want as their leaders. We've had leaders who have messed these countries. We've had leaders who have lied to the people of Kenya. We've had leaders who have messed the people of Kenya. We've had leaders who have looted. We've had leaders who have killed citizens. And so we have to be very keen as the people on who we are going to elect. Let us make a decision of electing people who are going to solve the challenges or the problems of this country. Let us stop this issue of viewing leadership or people in a tribal way or agenda or those kind of things. It is so sad that Kenyans are waking up every day, working so hard to try put food on the table, but the bad decisions that are made by certain leaders are making them unable to, fulfill their dreams. And that is why we are here to remind the people of Kenya that we are headed towards 2027. Let us make a decision that is going to solve, a decision that is going to ensure that we get to the right place. Let us not look at the tribe, region, gender. Those will not solve our problems. That would be my take, and I think I would just finish at this point now that a good friend Simamo has dropped. I want to take this opportunity to appreciate and to say a big thank you to everyone who joined us today. We really appreciate. Thank you for taking time to be with us. We don't take it for granted. We are so much grateful. And of course, to everyone who has always supported us, of course, we are so much grateful, and we pray that may God give you the strength and bless you so much. Yeah, so we do have these kind of conversations, and this is Brother Benson Media. Over here, we do say that your opinion counts. I would like to take this opportunity to wish you all a blessed morning, a blessed afternoon, a blessed evening, and of course, a blessed night. From wherever you're watching us from, you can always join us every day whenever we're having this kind of conversations. And again, if you want to give your views, we do share the link. You can always click the link and possibly join and give us your take. You can always again engage us at the comment section. Just give us your view, and of course, we will as well appreciate. So I would like to just end at this particular point. And once again, to say a big thank you to everyone who has always been here with us. Because of you, we've reached where we are today. Jackson Mwangi here is saying, shrug off this every dark Shaa tag, else it owns you. Okay. Yeah, I think the issue of Shaa, people have complained. Majority of people have complained about it because it is not really clear. I remember the former deputy Rigathi Gachagua saying that he has information that in the next 6 months, this Shaa thing would have been, this government would have done away with it. But I saw the president as well coming out to give his view, saying that unless wameambiwa kwa waganga. But I hope, the issue of Shaa is a very critical thing because it touches on the health of the people of Kenya. So let the political class not joke, but let them make serious decisions, because issues to do with health, we've had Kenyans suffer. Kenyans are doing their level best, paying their taxes, waking up every day. They deserve a better treatment, they deserve a better health insurance. For that reason, it is upon the political class to ensure that there's good healthcare system and of course insurance scheme that is in place to ensure that all the challenges that Kenyans are going through are sorted. Yeah, so that would be my view on that. But above all, we thank God for this far that we've gotten, and we appreciate everyone who has supported us in one way or another. All we can say is that this is Brother Benson Media. If you're watching for the first time, kindly just like and subscribe, because if you do so, it is a way of supporting us. Of course, as always, we will say a big thank you. Bye bye for today. Let's see each other tomorrow. May God bless you.